past 5 rounds now, there's no need for them to reinforce that A site too much, especially with the cam holding onto Heaven, not really getting any contact whatsoever for GE.
Yeah, during all of that, B main, DFM was pushed away by that Trailblazer as well. Cess has to give that up. So DFM basically playing blind into this round. And eventually, because they saw the shots coming out from Mail, because they saw the Trailblazer coming out from B main, they're going to make the correct guess here that it's going to be a weaker site onto A, right? Just process of elimination. And so they'll be right on the numbers. But the traps aren't cleared, and because of the showstopper, it's a high trap.
Yeah, they're waiting for it, but look at this. DFM going the other direction. Blaze King, oh my god, he's just at the edge of the smoke. He does not spot him. How does he survive this? Blaze King could go big with this one. Actually gets back into cover, does get picked off by Cess. So that's 1 for 1 for the moment. That's going to be the plant for DFM. And also the lurk for Anthem, which could be a crucial pinch point right now. As GE try to retake the site.
Yeah, Anthem and Cess have to go huge here, and GE's ready for it. But at some point, one of these members, okay, it looks like it might be Lightning Fast, who starts to pinch in. They have to start to help their teammates over by screens, and Cess is ready for it. That should be the call for Anthem to peek out. Cess still gets another. Anthem eventually goes down to Lightning Fast. But Cess drawing so much aggro allows Made to go for that peek, and Medusa will get the last kill, bringing DFM back into the lead.
That was so smart from DFM as well. Mentioned about process of elimination. They just also thought that, you know, tripwires are a lot more abundant on main, and we're probably going to get a lower percentage of refrag on Heaven if we just push as a unit together. If we have the showstopper there, that's going to push them out. And it all just came crumbling down perfectly here for DFM.
Yeah, very well set up. I love the pinch in from Heaven. I mean, Blaze King, we thought he might do a little bit more damage, hiding right outside of his own smoke, but yeah, DFM's quick on the reaction. The good trade right back up.
TP across from Lightning Fast. Really making sure that one way is well thought of. The push out, and maybe somehow gets hit by the paranoia here, so he backs away smartly. That could have been the pinch that they were kind of hoping for, but again, lots of resources used by both sides.
Yeah, but GE, eventually, I think they're still okay with this, right? Obviously, you lose a paranoia, that hurts. But what you wanted with that was keeping control of B main. So the only way DFM feels comfortable coming back into B is going to be by using either the Trailblazer or the Seekers. And if they do use that, I think you can start to imagine it might be a B hit. It's going to be a clear over to Mail, but that's from the shadows, trying to draw them away from B main. Sticks it.
He's getting the smoke around. Blaze King finally finishes him off, so no flanks, no pinch whatsoever. Russ has no flashes alongside Lightning Fast, so it's all about this dry contact that we're seeing right about now. But somehow Anthem is popping off. 5 bullets on Blaze King. Gets spotted up. They're all super low. Colby is going to have to go big onto this one. My God, right underneath him is going to be Nathan. There is the perfect double swing for DFM to just slingshot us into map point.
What in the world was that from Anthem? I mean, he jiggled Lightning Fast like 5 times before he finally goes for the kill. And he's just keeping him tied up, so his teammates just cover him all the way from Garage. And then he still stays alive, swivels all the way back out on that double swing. The paint shell's just about to land above his head as well. I mean, what a round from the IGL.
That was insane. That was nerve-wracking.
I mean, yeah, that's leading by example right there when push comes to shove, because read-wise, GE absolutely shut down the call from DFM.
Yeah.
ये अच्छा है बे मतलब उसमें कार्टून वही ना भाई एक साथ करो ना बेंच होती अलग 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 अजीब लोग हैं
this play that they're doing, because it's all about that top mid contact. Polvy's already gone down, so that could open up that A Heaven position. Gets swarmed in by DFM. Blaze King
wasn't spotted.
Still goes undetected though.
Oh, but they're gonna back away. So they don't like what they're seeing, right? The extra guiding light, something about this doesn't feel right. Trying to trap them into vents. So they will just regroup. At the end of the day, you know that you've softened up GE. Usually this is gonna be that 2-2 split, since we do have mostly still buys coming out.
Yeah. They've basically poured everything they have on this A side too. Benkai as well.
इनको स्टैक करना है ये गोलू लाइटनिंग अपने ब्लेज किंग के पास लीड है
from A main to A Heaven. Ooh, Trailblazer does not trigger the trap here, so there is a there is an opportunity to really play off of this, but it doesn't matter as May again and again. If he doesn't get tripped, he's just going to be able to pick up all of these kills. It's all down to lightning fast, 5 versus 1. And he's been spotted, hit by the vulnerable. Man is just trapped.
Yeah, I mean, he'll go for 2, and that's the best he can do, as DFM will close it out on GE's pick the split, 13 to 10. I mean, an impressive showing. DFM, what impresses me the most is that
भाई अंदर का ट्रिप लगा दो, साथ चले पता है, हेवन को खेल रहा है, रस भी जंप करते हैं.
And there's a lot more intent from what we saw from DFM compared to any other game. Anyways, map 1 is done. We'll pass it on to the panel.
Well, it looks like DFM are taking that first map. We can see the crowd is very happy with that as well. Giving like fist bumps over across the stage to their team. Not looking good for GE, but this map was very, very close.
It was close, it was competitive, but maybe not quite the result that they wanted, because, you know, now they've lost their map pick. They're going up against DFM's map pick next. But the main thing is how both teams really played it. You know, the first start, you have DFM going off, and they were actually able to deal with a lot of global issues. You have May, who's still able to perform to this standard.
जैसे ऑफ कर रहा था वो बहुत बार आउटलॉ चली इनको भी चली लेकिन आउटलॉ भी
was coming in. Anthem had that incredible round up against Polvi as well, and it's just this is the DFM that you want to see.
This is what they needed, right? They needed everybody to be online and to be playing together. It was very close still.
अपना मैप पे खड़े थे, अपना मैप पे खड़े
I think we were tied at 5, tied at 8,
second
tied at 9, 10. It
we
was
lost our map
how back and forth it was, but just right at the end, I think DFM very nicely capping it off, you know, made some big shots and just some very close rounds that did go their way.
They got a little bit of that second wind in them, right? But you know, it does make me question now, because I do remember that Spin mentioned GE was undergoing some sort of restructure, right? You did have kind of like they were passing on some leadership role over to Benkai, which they didn't in the past. Now it's a question of whether that restructure is enough. It looked good against other teams, for example. But right now, where it's such a high-pressure match with such dire consequences, right? Is that restructure enough of a foundation for GE to build on?
I mean, that's the big question. I mean, really good point, Mika, because this is, at this point, you really need to think about like what's going on for global esports. They had the restructure. They looked a little bit better, maybe a bit of a loss against Paper X, but that shouldn't matter too much. You're playing up against DFM now. You've studied their games before. You picked this map against them. So I must assume that you have some kind of a game plan, but when the first half looks that even, you know, you're keeping things really competitive, and both timeouts were called, but after that, all of a sudden, you're just not quite able to string rounds together. It just shows how much DFM poured into this game, how DFM were able to recover and adapt. And it all happens, you know, I do think that Global Esports definitely could have won, especially if you take a look at the stats.
I still think, no, we could have won. I still think we could have won.
You can still see how mechanically sound it is. But
I don't know, I'm not confident enough
DFM
to
just
the other
had
map
better
pick
reads.
if they
DFM
win.
just had better adjustments. Even when Global Esports, especially on the defensive half, tried to play inside of smokes.
It's not that the guys these guys don't have any potential. These are too much potential, dude.
They weren't quite able to, you know,
They will Furia को हरा
outplay them
सकते
at
हैं.
the end of it. DFM had, you know, the showstopper Anthem was always secure to kind of watch out for his teammates' backs, and the follow-up was always good once they got onto site. So Global Esports, just a little bit unfortunate, I think.
Yeah, I think like the players, of course, obviously are very, very skilled players. I mean, Polvi hit some amazing shots. We did see that. But there is some kind of a disconnect when you look at the bigger picture. When you look at the macro, it just seems like DFM, they're a little bit more compact there, especially when it comes to the mid-round calling, right? And that's really where we see, you know, suddenly it's like when DFM switch up the plan and GE have to adapt, they're not as quick on their feet, and that's when DFM can pick them off. And on a map like Split, you know, you can get really, really cheeky with the kind of angles and the kind of, you know, rotations that you can do. So I'm thinking here, Valdez, as of course we head into the second map here, GE, they're going to have to dig really, really deep. Again, they need to win this series.
Yeah, it's kind of
कि
interesting.
क्या
Because a lot of
jump
the
कर
stuff we
रहे हैं
talked
पता
about in the
नहीं मेरे को
pre-show, for some reason it does feel like it's
देख
slightly
देख
coming
देख
true, right? Like GE maybe once it's getting really
लेट
close
फाइट
down to
सब
the
जगह से आ
wire,
रहा हो
crumbling a
तुमको
little bit under the pressure. DFM, everybody's looking loose, everybody's looking, you know, unaffected by the fact that it's a close match, just still having fun and just excellent stuff here in the final rounds.
Nice.
You can see like May has a really big one when they need it most. The Cypher play was also fantastic, and yeah, they just barely get across the line now. They move on to Lotus. I think G took a risk with that split choice, and it did not pay off. And now I think DFM's
Still
in
fine,
prime
Lotus is
position.
still
Maybe
fine
Achilles
for
was right.
you.
Oh,
my
no.
God.
I know.
Oh no.
It is the worst outcome.
Is this the darkest timeline for us where
Yeah.
Achilles is right? But yes, heading over to Lotus now. I mean, you know, DFM for me, you know, DFM winning is probably one of the most wholesome things ever in VCT Pacific.
Yeah,
so
when
I
you
would
cried.
say, yeah. And everybody got really emotional. However, this is so dire for GE. Again, they need this win, and we can't reiterate this enough, especially since this is the only chance they can take, you know, all of their standings and here on the regular season into their own hands. This is the only thing they can do.
Yeah, that's why they really have to do everything possible. And
It's a fair
on
way.
a map
Because
pick that
it's a
isn't
fair.
there, so you know they might be prepared for it. They're definitely comfortable. Both
And
teams run the same
yeah.
composition, at least in the past. But it's not a map that is often picked by global esports. They very much prefer Icebox over this. It makes you wonder if DFM has done the same thing. They have done enough preparation for this. So both teams feel sometimes evenly matched, and it always comes down to those adaptations. The mid-round calling, like you mentioned, Mika. The IGLs definitely need to step up and show us what they've got here, because if not, it's very possible for one team to come up with a big lead and then steal the entire momentum away that way.
Speaking of big leads, that actually brings us to our guess and gate
Oh, God.
question.
Oh.
We do have this question over here. Who will have the higher KD
Who
in
will?
map 2? Is it going to be Polvi or is it going to be Made? This is kind of
Wow.
tricky because I think, like, you know, the numbers were kind of close. It could be, you know, very swing. It's not necessarily who wins, but who gets the higher KD. So collect your little paddles over here, gentlemen. And we do have DFM and Global. And make a choice right here. So hard to do this with one hand. It's like, so hard to do this with one hand. Like, don't look at my answer.
This is a hard choice.
This is
I
really
feel.
tricky.
You know, Polvi might have a better map this time.
आज तो नहीं
Yeah.
है Polvi.
back to GE.
Not today.
They might
It's
lose,
good,
but
not
Polvi
today.
plays better. You know,
Exactly,
maybe
playing
he
shit
has
today.
the first map. Like, ooh, this is hard.
They pick up the right thing. All right.
But I made my
Okay, I'm actually worried about this one. All right.
Sab
3,
DFM bhai, ye
2,
to DFM
1.
hai pata.
Reveal.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hello, Bronze.
All right, all right. Why are you
I don't
taking
know.
the L already?
Because I'm seeing you guys, the DFM, I'm second guessing myself right now.
I just feel like the momentum is in May's favor right now. He has that confidence. So going into map 2, he's probably going to
Momentum
come out
है बाढ़ में.
swinging. Will DFM close out the series? That's another
आएगा.
question. But May, I think
Polvi
he's really
आएगा.
good.
रुको भाई.
I think it's really close. Like, it's almost 50-50 in my mind. The viewers went pretty heavily to May. I think that makes sense just based on the performance, especially at the end of the last map. But, you know, just because that happened doesn't mean that it's definitely going to happen in the next map either.
I'm going to bank on the fact that this is Lotus. You got 3 sites, a lot more room to work with. Maybe Polvi goes on some solo missions of his own. He's always incredible, and he's always just really courageous.
भाई
Doesn't
जीतो भाई.
care,
भाई लोग
isn't
जीतो
scared,
भाई,
dives
ऐसा
in no
मजाक मत
matter
करो.
what. And
जीतो.
sometimes he's great for getting that space for his team.
मेरे
maybe
को एक
against the
मैप
first
तो
dance
देखने का
team,
है.
But
Maybe.
when it comes to KD overall, he might be able to prevail here.
Maybe, but as we head into Lotus, what could be our final map of the day, we're gonna see if GE is really able to dig deep here and bring up our
Not
Asian
again.
composition. It's looking
Same
like
hai.
a mirror matchup here.
Yeah, exactly the same. And again, what it comes down to is that adaptation. You know, you got to count on the fact that Russ or even
Schemati.
Benkai, you know, the restructuring that global esports has can come into play on a map like this. Otherwise, DFM, you know, Anthem's been doing this for a while, and he's able to work with the team. They've been showing that they've got these improvements. And I got to say, Cess was stepping up on Split. If he does the same thing right here on
पता है कि
Lotus,
कभी-कभी होता है ना,
playing inside of
these
smokes
guys
or
don't have
just
enough confidence. I
going
mean,
for
these
some
guys
of
are
these
losing for
tools,
so
have the
much. They have that
confidence to
energy, but
do
they
so
don't have that
alongside
confidence to get
They
back in.
actually might be able to
Sometimes
turn
that
this
also
into a
hinders their
Definitely
performance.
might happen. I
Is
mean,
what I
May
think.
and
Because
the
you
team, they
see,
won't look really loose. Everybody
the
looks like
correct,
there
right?
is not a lot of pressure
How
on them.
confident they are run. I mean,
They just got a big map win.
before going into
Maybe
the
DFM
game,
just
everyone
run
had
away with this
decided
one.
that G is going to lose to
Maybe.
them.
I mean, who knows
Just
at
because
this
that
point,
thing
especially
that they
since
have,
DFM again riding on
the
that
aim and
momentum from that
everything.
first
I'm not
game,
saying
right?
they're bad.
Feeling good.
I'm saying we could at least given them a
GE, they did
competition.
mention
Not
that
I would say
middle,
that
like
we could
after
have had a
maps where they
2-0,
really
2-1,
struggled with momentum.
easy
So we're gonna see
victory.
if they can
But
pull
we could have
together
given them the
for this one
competition. But their
as we pass
mental
it on
mindset was
back
so
to
bad
MSI
going
and
into the
to
match, I
Williams.
think.
Thank you very much. We return with map 2, what could be
I
our
don't know,
last
man.
map of the night here in week 4. DFM starting on that defense on their map pick. GE has selected attack. Now, the last time GE played this against RQ, they made a lot of good positive adjustments that eventually led to a big win against RQ. We'll see if they continue to improve upon that status.
Really goes to show as well, or they've also put a lot
वो
of
smoke क्यों
emphasis
डाला है
on
यार?
that rubble
इसका सही
control,
smoke
but
है
that
वो.
was when
वो
they could
isolate
start
कर
on
देगा
that
अगर
defensive
उसको
side. So we'll see
किसी
how
को
this
फाइट
kind
करना हो
of
उसके साथ.
unravels. Are they aware that, well, they might not be aware of this, as there is going to be this kind of four-man contact coming
Nice,
into
nice,
play
nice,
by
nice. Low.
it's a trap against trap, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Proactive play to DFM and then GE.
Nice.
yeah, GE
Nice.
is absolutely
Chill,
ready for
reset,
it, especially after
reset.
they hear that,
Blaze King के
that
पास info है
Prowler.
शायद. Blaze King
And
के पास info है
GE
शायद.
generally, something that I
उनका
faulted them
killjoy
in the
dead है.
past
You
was
can try
running their
see.
attack a little bit too slow.
You can
They
try
remedied
see.
that against RQ, but on the pistol, it doesn't hurt, right? You
अरे
know that
यार
your defense is a
read है
little
उनके
bit more
पास भी दो
pressured
लोग
to
आ
make
गए
a
उनके.
move on a 3-site map like Lotus. So now they'll just regroup. It's a death ball going all the way around. I love the jump peek, but Medusa is still good for 2. Eventually, sure, they get traded out, but what
Okay.
a hold
Ready,
by
gun out,
Medusa.
Yeah,
guys,
he
gun
hit
out,
the first one
guys,
on the
gun
initial
out.
contact, and then everything followed up for the 2.
देख,
And
Prowler gun था.
now he's got to see.
Who do you think will win?
Maybe he can
यार,
sort of sneak
honestly
his way in
speaking,
there just
I
to get a
don't know
counter
who's
onto
gonna win
Russ.
because
Pretty fast, pretty
I
cautious,
mean
pretty aware that that could be a possibility. So comes around the corner, but the nade throw.
I don't know who's gonna win. I
actually
wish
allow
G
Anthem for a little
wins
more
because I'm from
to
India,
happen this time, and
but I don't know,
Russ
man.
leads up
I
to
don't know
3K.
about their aim
Yeah,
this today
just
because seeing
quick
how Polvi is
move
playing
all the way
today,
through race side
I
here for
don't think
Global Esports.
he might get it. But
But look at
I'm
this. I mean, the
hoping
jump peek over towards Mound as well from Lightning Fast. So GE, they just made the call. They said DFM's push it out at least one way. We don't know where it is, but A, B, or C, all of them, we just got to wait. And as soon as they hear that Prowler, they're all ready
Come
for
on.
it. DFM didn't
I
quite
want
expect
G
to
to
see
win,
so
but
many
then I
people with
don't
their
know, man.
crosshairs trained.
May
Now
is
it's going to be
playing
that
too good.
mount control
Last
from
round,
GE.
last match split,
They like
he
to
had
do this. They'll
21
leave
kills. I
Rubble
think he
just
was
for the Viper
he
to
was a
gauge
beast.
information on.
Last game split.
Go for that easy orb on Mound.
Very proactive, feeding those charges to Polvi as
पूरा
well.
rotation है उनका भाई
Rise out of
भाई
DFM
भाई
smokes
लोग
for the moment. Now,
पूरा
the
rotation
question
है
is,
उनका
with that Trailblazer,
completely rotated.
Prowler getting a
Blaze
bit
King
more
has
of
the
that contact.
info.
Second Prowler coming in, they actually won't hesitate anymore, pushes forward. Very good hot coming right in, and the damage is actually working in the favor of DFM. They did not know where the scan came from, and the punish comes in swift.
Oh,
They're
that
playing
is
too good, man.
brutal.
They're too
Because
good. They're
that's all
playing
the
too
weapons
good today.
dropped.
Too good.
Blaze King just a ghost. I mean, he was on the lurk because he didn't have a buy, but now he's just going to get taken down by a Bulldog. Free upgrades for DFM,
I told you.
and they take the momentum right
They
back.
are having
Yeah,
so much
right.
of confidence, and their
Rather
aim is
unfortunate there
this
for
time
Global,
is
who
good.
just
I would
was
say better than
playing
G,
very safe in a way, you know, just
but
pushing.
but now
not
it all
playing
comes
through
down
the
to G
smokes
having
here and
good
there,
reads.
and
You
they got
see,
so
they're
pressured
not
about the
even
player on the platform
reading
that they
off.
forgot about Ben at the back of the site, where May was just prepared to pick up some nasty kills with that Sheriff.
Oh, well, now you just got to go on your back foot. It's just Sheriffs. Oh, considering the Stinger, okay, Blaze King, since you didn't buy the previous round, at least a bit of a
It's
curveball.
okay. Code
Not
is
much you
fine. I
can do
think
with a
it's
buy like
very
this, so it's just a
common to
death
get
ball
eco. I'm not saying
towards
that.
B. They hear the Util coming
It's
out on
lost the
Rubble,
eco on their
so
two
they
back.
know that there
It
is a
also
bit of
happened
a
with
force
Arrow,
on
so
A.
they
Even
came
here,
back with
maybe no
another
ropes,
eco.
that's the paranoia just to clear that out, but the Nano Swarms will keep them at bay.
It just perfectly encompasses the entryway to that B site. Exit strategy is to go the other direction, but Neth is here.
Yeah, you heard your Nano getting broken as
Oh,
well.
no.
Oh, no.
Arey,
Yeah, that Poison Cloud going down at
Nice,
the most
nice.
unfortunate time.
Nice.
Still, though,
Peek
they're
together,
fighting back. They're
no,
coming back into
Arey,
this.
peek
May
together, we.
finally comes into play. We'll see how this kind of pans
Nice,
out.
nice, nice.
Pixel angles.
तुम पे
need to
split
move
है,
for
split
it to get
करो.
a couple of picks. So even though this is a full gun round for DFM, Global's making it expensive right now with the Sheriffs and the contacts that they've done
Yeah.
throughout.
See,
Yeah,
anyone can
sure,
get
you
ecoed. It's
caught
not
both
about
members
what
of
I'm
G
talking
down
about.
to 50 health, but we've seen this before, the back-to-back thrifties. Does it happen again? Now, GE, they would love to be able to creep in, get a couple weapons, but DFM, they have literally no reason to empty the site, right? I mean, if it gets planted on A, you still have the better weaponry, you go for a 2v2 retake. So I love the setup from DFM. They just have to be patient.
That's the first one. Knows about the high.
मत जाओ.
Did they get the low? Russ now spotted around the corner to drop down, and Russ is alone. Goes in for the swing. Cool.
What the hell? You good, boy?
The sheriff shots come in. He jumped out to swing, but it actually backfired. He's just too crispy.
Holy, I mean, Russ did everything there, right? I mean, he played the bait.
It's all about.
Oh, I just cannot believe this.
It's one day, Russ.
Give it back to me. He said.
इधर ही डबल पिक ले लेते ना आई
He
थिंक
tries to go for the pickup, and Russ just says, "Nah, don't worry, I got this."
Let's go, boys. Come on.
Nice and calm, leading by example
actually,
as he
man,
has
actually.
been this entire stage.
That's just
Give it
crazy.
up.
That's just
We're
crazy.
the sharpshooter over on the side of Global Esports.
Are
Now
they're
they're
using
right
their
back with
haunt
their
here or
own
what?
weapons.
Oh god, he got him already.
Well, following the example.
Nice
as he
one.
picks
Bas,
off
he got
May
him. He
quite
got him.
quickly
Chill
and
out,
started
chill
the
out.
round.
Unko split it. Now they'll have to split out.
This
Missed the
obviously
nade,
ruins the
missed the
economy of
nade.
DFM, so they're back to the
They'll
drawing
have to
board.
split
Well,
out. No,
obviously
split. Wait,
GE's
wait,
got their rifles.
Yeah, and G will just play it a bit safer.
Fade will
A
come
little bit of mount
C.
control.
KJ will hold
And
passive
now you're
and
ready to get that rubble control back.
shit.
Still had
And
that
it's a
alarm
nice
on the
angle that
turret, so you know
Benka
that
did
there
work.
wasn't a push out. You got that early pick
Between
as
the
well
legs
onto
and
the
the
site.
a lot
You
of that
still see
turret.
no reaction. Decide that it's about time you death
The
ball it all
problem
the
is
way
that they
out to the
haven't
A
broken
side.
that thing yet, so
Yeah, now they're just playing a lot more cautious. You know, bringing in all of their
They know,
utility
they
to
know.
just check mount, or excuse me, check rubble, get a bit closer. They have everything right now to scan and not get trapped like the
three.
past couple of rounds have been. Door has been open. That's playing. Oh no, that's the paranoia. He's spraying frantically through the
Take it,
Nasus form. Actually works out in his favor,
Nice,
but
nice,
Polvi is just too
nice,
good
nice.
on the
I'll
pressure
tap
on
on
the
I'll
tree.
tap on
That leaves only Medusa in the back of the site. Sure, it's going to be safe
Item
around alongside
मार
him.
दो घर
But
लेके जाओ
GE,
क्या
they're backing away. Cess, oh, he opens up a whole can of worms.
अभी
and
चले
that
जाओ
is
वाइपर
not
का
too
अरे
good for
वाइपर
his
का इन्फो
health.
था ना पिटा
Medusa
तो वाइपर
stuck
का
onto the
नहीं
A
था
site. Already going to push onto this. It's a 4v1
किसका
short,
पिट था वो
but
अपने
he's
वाइपर का
pocketed
था क्या
himself. Could go big if he plays his cards right now. Medusa, here's the reload. Russ trapped, but there's the quick little refrag from Blaze
थोड़ा सा early
hand in
pick दिया ना
hand.
ब्लेसिंग रस बच
GE,
जाएगा
a more dominant performance here at the start of Lotus.
Yeah,
I love that
teabagging
G is
out.
already trying to get into DFM's head as
Yeah,
well, right? They
he's
delay the push
teabagging.
out from tree. They
It's a
back
Blaze
out,
team.
and they make it look like, oh, we might be rotating out. We still got 30 seconds. So DFM, I mean, it baits Cess into peeking out of that smoke. Falls right into that trap.
ठीक है
And
गोल ने अपना
GE,
काम
they're
किया मेरे
starting
को
to
लगता
stay
था गोल
one
ने
step
डीपी कर
ahead
लेना
of
चाहिए था अंदर
DFM.
मार पाते
So
बहुत
the
easy जान
adjustment is
पाता
here from
instead of
the side
running
of
out through
DFM. Japanese
instead of
squad
running
trying to
through.
get one more on the board here in stage one. Just trying to get one
You
more
should have
championship
kept it
point.
because anyway he was
Set
flashed.
themselves up for better success in stage two.
Font
This is the perfect
exchange
round for
font
that.
नहीं पहुंचा अपना
Lockdown almost available, Showstopper almost available. Basically everything right now falling into the hands of
this is
DFM.
full buy versus full
GE
buy
obviously aware. That's why we're putting a lot of emphasis on that rubble control as well as tree here. Just push them
सुनो
as
ना
far back as
guys
they
they
can.
have
And
left
they have that
the
nightfall as
game
well, right? This looks like GE trying to force them into
If you're
thinking, hey,
listening,
we're just going to send our
TP
ults.
मारो
Are you ready
अगर
for
तुम
it?
सुन
You've even got the Showstopper if needed. It's only going to get one tag, it looks like.
तू
So the
ना
Showstopper to keep them at bay. They recognize that this might just be them hiding, and it's a double kill, a 2-for-2 trade. But Benkai will continue to follow up all the way from rubble. What an execute onto the site from GE as Lightning Fast cleans up one more.
Like the pocket there from Medusa.
देखो मैं बताऊँ एक बात I've
Yeah.
noticed गोलू का
Follow-up
confidence
plays
बहुत
just
बढ़ रहा है lightning
bit too
fast का
overwhelming
confidence
for GE.
बहुत फटाफट बढ़ रहा है the way he's
Cess.
playing
Oh, not spotted by the Prowler, so he's gonna creep his way ever so slightly onto that A site. Knows it's already there, but you can't see
गोलू
the
का confidence बहुत बढ़ रहा
GE
है
playing that safe game, checking every corner just in case. And
nice jump
course, they'll
spot
classic
Benkai
just
nice jump
the jump
spot man
spot outside
nice
of
smoke
tree.
गोलू
Seth's
nice
trying
smoke
to
smoke में
create
खेल
his
गोलू
own
आराम से
pockets of avenue just to maybe get a
damage
bit of
किया है
contact
shield गया है
alongside him.
heal से
But the question
he has no other
is,
option now
does he go for hero?
he doesn't have
or
guns he
back
don't
away
have
and
money he
save the
doesn't
weapon
have
for that
shield
next round?
easy
Does
save
have a bit of utility.
Yeah, you got
गोलू का confidence बहुत बढ़ गया है
When
lightning
you're
fast
already starting to give up the
lightning
lead
fast
quite a bit,
confidence is
sure it's
increased too
Lotus,
much okay
You always want to have
Hey, this
one
peak is
thing
nice, no?
extra in your back pocket in the upcoming round. And on that Omen, obviously the ult orb's not as crucial to try
W
to
ult
sneak in. So
actually
Cess,
W ult.
sure, he'll hold the line for an exit frag or two, but
Nice
G
ult.
will also play it safe,
लेकिन
avoiding the
उनको
last
पता है
location
क्यों
of
करेंगे ये
Cess.
लोग भाई उधर रश उस साइड पे
Yeah.
इनके पास भी कुछ खास पैसा नहीं है
Alright.
तो कर लेते हैं
So off of that,
Nice
I
one.
mean, DFM, sure, this time
Nice
it's
one,
the
nice
ults,
one.
but that allows GE to control, to help change the tempo round to round, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this keeps DFM on their toes. So DFM has to decide again if we're going to
This ult was everything, man. I
we need
think
to
this
hold
ult was
on to it.
everything.
If not, GE usually tries to clear Mound first. You got to go for a trap play over on Mound. Maybe something with the revolving door. You know,
This
over
is
by
very
B.
too
Obviously,
much
it's a weaker round.
for me.
It wouldn't be a terrible round to do that.
That's where it gets a bit interesting, right? Because if you look at where GE have been specifically throwing their mollies, it's specifically so that
कहाँ कर रहा है
anywhere
अभी
from
देखना
Rubble, or,
पड़ेगा
excuse me,
मेरे
not
को
Rubble, but Tree does not get any support whatsoever. You saw that Medusa wanted to
ऊपर
position
डालना है
himself
तेरे
right
को
there in that
भाई
corner outside
रस
of
भाई
stairs,
ऊपर डालो
but he couldn't because of the nano swarm, so he had to pocket himself
नीचे
around the
डालेगा
arch,
क्या
and
वो
so on
क्लियर
and so
नहीं
forth.
करेगा वो
This
नीचे
just
वाला
kind
वो
of
क्या
puts
कहते
DFM
हैं
in positions where they're one off. They just have to hold
लॉबी
them.
एरिया
The
क्लियर
one
नहीं
player
करेगा वो
can
बिल्डो
hold off
बी
the
वाला वो
4
ब्रेकेबल
5
डोर वाला
players
एरिया
pushing
क्या
for
बोलते हैं
GE.
उसको
And now it's just going to be a double stack
Oh,
over on A, but
challenge.
Medusa, yeah,
Hard luck,
can't
hard luck,
make
hard
it out. And now when the nano swarms
Spam
continue to
मारो
get popped, you suspect that it's still going to
recon
be the Killjoy somewhere around
every
Tree.
time
The alarm bomb was spotted
exactly
earlier as
dude
well.
exactly
But
my
during all
point
of this, now that you've pushed them through, you're trying to clear out other parts of the map. Lightning Fast goes for a trade. He just has to hold on to this area, and they can
ना
go
ना
for
ना
the long
don't hold
wrap
अभी
around over
कर
to
लो
C.
मार लो रोटेट
You
मार लो
know that
भाई
there's
मार
now
लो
going to be
रोटेट
backup arriving onto
they
the
know
B site.
KJ is there
I mean,
फाइट लिया था उन्होंने
GE
KJ
is
का
just playing this map to perfection, making DFM run for it every round.
Yeah, that door was closing in. May was opportunistic, optimistic if he could. Oh my gosh, he's using the elevation maybe to get a rile out of GE here, but plan on the spike. They're going to be safe for the moment. Blaze King
भाई
bounces
दो लोग हैं
himself onto the
पीछे
corner
तीनों
right
पीछे
now.
डाल
May comes in for the swing, unaware, and actually, did he actually brought out the showstopper? I'm unsure. In any case, Adam and Neth are the only two players in this 4 versus 2. Comes in into the
Nice
snake
Blaze
bite,
King.
and it's just
Well
the
played,
mouth, the
Blaze King.
belly
Well
of the
played.
beast
Well
as
played.
Global Esports pick up another.
छोड़ा नहीं उसने एकदम टाइट
I
एंगल
mean,
पकड़
they
के रखा था
suspected the corner as well. He swings for it. I don't think he uses ult. Yeah, just brought his weapon back up, but drops instantly before anything to show up back in his
नहीं I
bombs.
don't know वो रस का जो the eye
Nice
that
skills
Russ
again,
is
lightning
throwing
fast. Both of them getting right back into their best
see
form of
he
the
held that
stage.
complete tight
Trying
angle
to make
see
sure GE stays alive in this best of 3. If they win, they're still in contention, I believe, for playoffs. So that's something that Global Esports would like more than anything this stage 1.
Yeah. Imagine how far this new comp has gone in May. This is a staple for DFM, but GE are pretty aware of it. Sure, there's going to be, what, the 3 tag with the Haunt, but no follow-up whatsoever. Cess
Nice one,
overdid it as
Goalie.
May was trying to escape through the
गोलू को छोड़ दो
counterplay of
तुम लोग दूसरे
Global
मैप
there.
प्रेजेंस दिखाओ
Sure, they get the
Blaze
mount
King को
control
देखो
back, but at the cost
look
of
at Blaze King
Cess.
look at Blaze King
Yeah, a bit of
there
a
he is
mismatch there. I mean, it looks like DFM just wanted to hold off. They wanted to bait out some extra utility away from them. May decided not to send the showstopper because you don't
no
see
no
a
no
early
driving
catch
goal no driving goal
onto that seas. But Cess, I mean, his shrouded step gets seen right away, and now May stuck right by Mount.
Nice,
He'll only
nice.
get one. Yeah,
नहीं LF
chase all
भाई
the way
आराम
back
से भाई
to
आराम से
the site.
अकेले अकेले पिक ना करो
Makes the
हम पे इतना
all
कुछ
the way
क्रेजी
through. I mean,
गेम
DFM,
नहीं
they
है
don't really have much
और
of a
वे
choice. You have
और
to
लो
group up.
पाउडर है
At this point, Neth even gets a kill. That's a big one.
That's also an ultimate from Lightning Fast, maybe to assist Blaze King, or at least not to lose too much of that control on Rubble when Blaze King lost his life. In any case, are they aware that this was the play for G? Probably not,
They
because
have
they
no
didn't see
idea,
it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was intended or not from Lightning Fast, but it works out, right? Because Blaze King dies, and then you hear the
ये
open
नया ये
ultimate.
round
Now
मेरे को लग रहा है
GE might be overcooking it a bit. They think they've shown their hand a bit too much, and here comes the lockdown. Only 20 seconds.
Oh, they wanted
Nice.
to fight
Lockdown
for that.
to,
They
lockdown
want
to, lockdown
break
to.
the lockdown if possible. It is going to be doable for Lightning Fast, 15 seconds, and he actually might have time for this. Yeah, he's going to be able to plant the spike 1 versus 1.
Yeah, but he's been
Medusa,
tagged.
Scott, oh, the play. Lightning Fast.
Wow, the bait out
crazy है
from
भाई
Lightning Fast, the lone remaining member for last year's
गोलू
GE squad.
गोलू
Continues to earn his medals on the starting lineup.
गोलू खेला भाई
What a play.
गोलू खेला
Holy.
7 seconds
गोलू
on the clock, Will.
you are
And
nice
he risked it
you're nice
for
गोलू
the
crazy
contact and just did not plant the spike.
I mean,
33 HP.
33 HP. Oh, that feels good. That's
गोलू
a
भाई,
feel-good 1v1
गोलू
clutch.
कॉन्फिडेंस है, गोलू का कॉन्फिडेंस
Now a
बहुत बढ़ रहा है,
timeout from
बहुत बढ़ रहा
DFM.
है.
And this, quite frankly, I mean, it might kind of work out for G as well, right? Cool things
गोलू
off
का
a little
कॉन्फिडेंस
bit
बहुत
after
बढ़ रहा है.
some
सुनो,
ground.
रीसेट करो,
Yeah,
उनका दूसरा
maybe
टाइम आउट है
overcooking
शायद.
perhaps on your side
ओके,
as well.
इससे पहले ही
But DFM,
वो लोग अभी कुछ
something
एडजस्ट
that they'll have
करेंगे.
to address
थोड़ा सा
is,
तुम भी
I
अपना
mean, again, you're getting kind
एडजस्टमेंट
of
दिखाओ, कुछ
forced to
सेपरेट,
run
कुछ डिफरेंट
laps
दिखाओ.
around this map without much value. Try to go for that set play outside of C. It's a bit of a
Ben
mismatch
का
for
इधर
both.
कॉलर,
Curious to see what the coach
Ben का इधर कॉलर.
crew.
They're gonna put more
Eyes
bodies
put from
maybe to
lighting.
help out
Actually,
May
man, I mean, the confidence you
in
need to
those,
swing that, you know, when you know
tempo
that you
plays
don't
were
have time
mentioning, right? It was
and
just what,
you
him
are
and
low on health as
Cess,
well, and you need to hit
then
that one
one
shot.
followed up
That's
afterwards,
too
or did they
that's
get
too
Went
damn
far back as
pressuring
well,
situation
yeah.
for you,
But
because you
I mean,
don't
yeah,
even
it's
know
just,
that, you
it
know,
wasn't quite in sync. But the
if
real
you don't
question
hit, then you
is,
lose
let's
the
say
round.
even
But
if you were able to push out, basically
I
you
think
have to
they're
have a
Nico,
plan
right?
afterwards
Oh,
of how you're
they
going to
have
hold
the
on to it.
back.
Now it's going to
It's
be
all
on to
right,
Robo.
Nico. This
And I
okay
like this a lot
bonus.
better. You know G is always going to
They're
go with that
taking the
mount control.
nice
You know
first.
they like to try to come back into
Nice
Robo.
hunt, nice
They try
hunt,
to take it early, but they're not able to combat that early haunt. So they're
nice
forced
hunt.
away.
Look at this as well. Is Polby just gonna? Oh, that timing though. Medusa could have actually gone for the punish, but he was preparing that snake bite as you saw. Now Polby's got control around Baby Door here. The push out could be possible, but he's just making sure that lightning
Nice.
pass is safe on that.
Alt. Pulvi bhai kilo.
Use quickly and surely.
Oh,
Delivering the payload by May.
हाँ ठीक है, लो लो लो. मौली है, दो मौली अपने, दो मौली है, दो मौली है.
But the thing is,
एक मौली फिर चालू कर दिया इन्होंने.
face plus the lockdown.
Sammy Senpai,
Yeah,
hello.
this
Thanks for
is-
joining
that
the
shows
stream,
how
bro.
when you
Thanks for
use
joining the
early,
stream.
that's the sign
What's
to go
up?
for that
Russ.
lockdown.
Nice son.
Russ gets a nice pick over on Rubble as well, so now you have to be wary of that flank.
ठीक है.
Cess has to go big on this revolving door. He has to draw so much attention. He sees one, the haunt spots him, but he can't get it. He finally
Nice.
finds a timing, peeks around the door. Now you know that the
Blaze
fight
King,
is
Blaze
still
King,
tied
Blaze
up.
King.
Over by B main. Russ still good for one, and he lands him two through the pit. The collect.
Bye, Russ. Bye.
And not enough time.
What's up, bro? Do you play Fortnite? Yes, bro. I do play
Russ
Fortnite.
does it
I don't play it
again.
on stream. I like to play it off
7-1
stream. I
lead for
play
GE.
Valorant mostly on stream
And this
because
is
I'm
GE,
doing
a
vertical
team
streaming for
that
now.
I
So
felt like
that's the reason
before
I play
couldn't
only
really do too much
vertically,
B-side
whichever game are.
plays, but that
Not
was
whichever.
a
It's
sick
the only
execute
one
that we
game.
saw, taking into
Valorant.
account, again, the
Russ
retake
bhai.
utility that
Wanna
was
play right now?
available
Bro,
for
I'm
DFM.
doing
As you
this
saw, they were
watch
okay
party
with
now.
losing
I'll do
Polby,
this watch party and then I'm going to
because
play
they made it
Valorant
down their
later with sub.
showstopper, and as
So
long as Blaze King
today it's not
was
possible to
active
play
with his
Fortnite, bro.
Viper
Sorry.
Spike for the longest time, obviously
We can play
that's going to
together.
be such a
Yeah, right now.
bigger
Yeah, I
problem
know,
for
but then
DFM
today
to,
I have
you know,
already planned out
overtaking that
things, so
retake.
today I
Yeah,
cannot,
I
bro.
mean,
Sorry.
such just snap
You can drop
decisions
me
coming
your
from GE.
in-game name and we'll play
Really
it.
getting the
I
read
generally
onto
don't
the
play it on
attack. Now
streams.
the confidence is there. Blaze King swings out past the screen.
You can drop me your username. I'll add you onto Epic.
I mean, GE just
No
has
worries.
absolute control of the tempo right now.
Yeah.
Right? They
Then
understand
we
that
can,
the only way
you know,
DFM
I'll add
has
you
a
in
way
game.
out
We can
this
play
coming
tomorrow
round is that
or
once again trying to just
today
fight the
night
hunt, because
if
that's
I'm
what
there
forced them back
online.
last time.
Generally, I play
Blaze King
Fortnite at
rates
night
it,
with my
missed the
friends.
early pick.
So I don't know, man, exactly if I'll play tomorrow.
He is low, but
I'll try to play. No worries on
it's
that.
going to be a big
Try to
problem
play.
right now for GE. They just made a huge stack.
Yeah,
on the side of
evening's
Rumble
also
once
fine.
again, maybe trying to take a rile out of DFM.
But I won't play it on stream, bro.
They've also kind of baited
At
but
3.
at least taken out one of the smokes for Cess.
I don't know if
Meantime.
if 3 is possible for me. Anytime.
The KJ,
I
well,
think
Russ
9
makes
o'clock
noise outside
at
of
night. I
C.
think I would be able to
Just
play.
maybe a bit of a fake here.
After my streaming
Yeah.
is done, I'll play.
So, well, you know that at least one person is there somewhere, right? Even if the Haunt
Yeah.
doesn't tag him because he responded to the noise by bringing up the
Hey, you
pulse
can
cloud.
send me your ID
So
first.
now
I'll
you're
add you
trying
at
to
least.
figure out,
Then
where's the
we
stack?
can
Try to make
decide
it look
on
like
the
it's a C to
timings.
B. See if there's a reaction out of A. Immediately there is.
I'll
Even
add you.
Paranoia, and they say, all right, it's back to B.
I'll
That
add
would
you.
be the
No
weakest
worries on
spot
that.
on the map. You still had some control over Rubble. Still had control over Mound.
They know, they
Good
know.
post-map
Ah,
position here
nice.
from GE. Now, they
Nice,
did
Russ.
give
Nice
away
one.
Rubble, so it's two members
Nice.
from DFM. This is going to be the big one for Benkai.
Shows how bad. Comment.
He's put a nail
Have a
somewhere,
great
so
day, buddy.
unless
Thanks,
they
bro.
get him
Thank
through
you.
The wall bangs with the Sheriff, it's probably going to be quite difficult, especially with Polby
Thank you.
actually helping him
Yes.
out.
Have a great
Cease
day, you
comes
too,
in,
buddy.
then
If you
a
want,
jump
please
out from
subscribe if
Cess.
you
All right, I am
feel good. So,
unclear,
thanks for
unsure
joining the
why
stream.
that was a play.
Bye.
In any case, Medusa and Nathan
सर मैं
are
एक्चुअली
gonna
एड्रेस लेके
come
आया
in
था,
through
कोई बात
both
नहीं,
of the
देखेंगे
lanes.
स्ट्रीम चल रही
Zombie
है.
as
हाँ,
well.
मैं थोड़ा
That's
जल्दी
going
स्टार्ट
to
किया
be a
स्ट्रीम.
quick little shutdown,
Nice
and
one, Nice one. Nice one.
Well,
अच्छा दिख रहा है
balls in
जी.
their pocket, balls in their
They're
court.
looking good. They're
Fnatic just
looking good.
keeps
G is looking
rolling
good.
on and on.
I mean, in all honesty, I am just thrilled to see that GE is using their time so much more efficiently, right? From 2 weeks ago.
I did subscribe.
This, where
Thank you,
they're able to
bro. Thank you
rotate
very much.
2, 3, 4
I'll
times
just be
around
back.
this map. I mean, sure, part of it is that DFM looking a little bit lost on their rotations and reactions as well, but props to GE where it's due. It's a good evolution of their Lotus. Now the Nightfall is back. Last time it was up, it was a hard A push. And DFM, if they want to stop it, they have to take away this haunt. Anthem breaks it through the screen. Oh, but it's just a spam through the toxic screen as well. I mean, everything's going GE's way.
Yeah, it is. You can see that, well, Anthem also had to break down through Baby Door and just escape. Lots of things there from GE, as you saw. May, does he want to touch this hot potato? It actually gets tagged there by the ultimate. Anthem now trying to re-creep in through the entryway. Maybe they get a catch off, a rotation off. Polvi now just coming around the corner, and he already knew that position, that play was his. Nade thrown onto ground, or onto drop. May's not there, thankfully enough. He will at least have some coverage on Heaven. Unfortunately, Polvi's right underneath, just taking out the rug from underneath.
They're losing
Simpson
confidence.
Anthem,
They're not taking over hard
so far
angles.
from the situation. Sure, they're near around the site, but there's still like 4 players of GE here.
Well, it's just Anthem now, and
Eh?
yeah, looks away after the worst timing, but still a 1v3. This would be huge if Anthem can pull it off, but already Lightning Fast on the lurk as well. Wants to deny the escape, the save. GE, they want to make this snowball into an avalanche as they lead 9-1 against DFM.
Yeah. At some point, right, there are these kind of games where just everything that you try to do, even the timings, just feel off. And DFM, they're trying to, you know, kind of get away from that rut. But GE's contact's just insane, even through the smokes.
Yeah, I do wish that, I mean, now I think it's a little too late, but I do wish that DFM did
Okay, the attack sided. I know it is attack sided, but if they have 11-1 lead, what are they going to do?
Or commit to Rubble, right?
Yeah.
Go past the haunt, throw your paint shells, just take that spot. That alone would have changed GE's tempo,
Oh, come
but
on.
now
That's,
the showstopper to just plug up that baby
Nice
door.
need,
yeah.
baby. Nice need,
Turns
man.
into the murder hole at this point with that showstopper, right? Getting the pick in. That tried to be tricky. Spike's been planted on B, but look at the separation here from GE. Couple of players on top, one holding the flank. Even actually going around, it's going to be lightning fast. Blazeking's going to get caught by May. So maybe this is a step in the right direction. He's already gotten for 2. That's going to be huge. 2 versus 2 as of the moment. Spike not planted down. Gonna have to be a straight peek from Russ, and wins the duel against Cess. Perfect, as May was scanning onto B main. Now knows that Lightning Fast is on Link. The quick double swing, he's not even on the spike. Cannot get through the cross that was the 2 players of GE, and that's going to be a 10-1.
Not going to be confident.
Not getting these rounds, Will.
It's a rough one. And again, just to go back to it, not to harp on their decision, at least it seems like they felt the pressure now in that previous round 11, but if they had gone for the hard commit onto Rubble, even if they don't win the round, that would force GE to slow down, right? They would have to wait, you know, an extra 5 to 10 seconds to see if Yuto flies out and then regain control of Rubble. Small things like that start to work the timer in your favor, and it's a shame to see DFM just play scared. Away from the time, away from the early util.
Looks like they're going to do it again.
Okay, they will push out. The Paranoia committed as well.
There's a scatter somewhere for Lightning Fast, and he heard the aggressive plays coming out of Rubble, and now it's a guessing game for DFM. This splits them apart, so GE can start going a lot more free on their forward push, as you can see the players on Mound.
And they can go on to C because they know it was an early push out onto A. That's where Lightning Fast is holding them hostage. If they rotate through spawn, which he hears right now, at least one's going through spawn, he can chase that. The rest are probably out in main, so you just have to hold on to that site on C. Everyone already inside. Lightning Fast now beginning the hunt from far behind.
Yeah, another question is, right,
was
that a ruse from Lightning Fast, or was that a true from the shadows from him? That's going to be a check onto Mound so that the rest of the players can come right in.
Come on.
As well as May.
They have no idea.
Oh, this is big from Lightning Fast, and he cleans up house. Produces alone. Paranoid to seal the fate. That's going to be 11-1. What an answer from GE. What a play as well.
I mean,
Both
literally
way
everything goes
confidence दिखाओ भाई तुम.
perfectly as possible in these past
अच्छा
couple
खेलते हो.
rounds. I mean, from the shadows onto in between A and B, outside of A heaven, we don't see that every day. But then he commits to it because of
You are
that
playing
early
too good,
util,
Gulu.
like you said. They understand
बहुत
that it's a
सही, बहुत
push
सही खेल
out
रहे
from
हो
DFM.
बहुत सही.
And they say, okay, we'll just tie him up here. Right, minimum 2, if not 3 people
Mental
tied up
state
on
era.
the site now
निकल
because
जाएगा.
of the util that they spotted. And that's just an easy read. And DFM will have to make some of the craziest runs if they want to try to close this out. Now the good
He's
news for
wasted.
DFM is that they took map 1, right? So it's not the end of the day if they lose this Lotus.
Yeah,
बताओ भाई.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like this.
भाई.
GE fighting and DFM win.
मैच
Gotta
बीच
love
देख रहा
the
है तू.
support for all the
हाँ.
teams. Unless I'm
11-1 हरा रहे रहे.
You gotta commit, all right?
क्या बात
No
है?
flipping
already
and
पहला
flopping.
मैच हारे
I
अलग
already
बात.
put my predictions in.
लेकिन
I'm just
दूसरा मैच
saying
11-1
it's
जीत रहे.
great
No, it is good to
that we
see.
got the support on every,
DFX कहाँ की
you know,
टीम है
every
ये?
possible
Japan.
angle. Anyways,
Oh.
moving forward into this
टीम से
one,
जीत रहे
we
हैं
saw
क्या?
a lot of lack of rebel control from DFM on their defending side.
आज
Are they
वापस
going to
Sun
put a lot
versus
more
Loud है
emphasis
भाई.
now that they're taking more baby mound? It's been what we've seen from GE. Are they going
थक
to
चुका हूँ
try to
देख
take a
के.
page out of that one, or have their own set of plays on those kind of big power points here on
ना
Lotus?
Sun versus
Yeah,
Loud
they'll
देखी
have
है
to
वो
make sure
कि
it's
अभी
absolute value
नहीं
here on
देखा तो भी
this
चलता
round. We've
लगता.
got double sheriffs on for Medusa and Neth. So Medusa only going to have the toxic screen to work with.
What is available here for GE? Plenty, actually. Polvi is going to be sitting on a boombot as well, just to help clear things up, just in case. Ah, so they wait on spawn first, maybe thinking that GE is going to do the same thing that DFM did on their pistol.
They hear the Prowler
No,
too.
no, no.
You know, DFM just thinking like, oh boy, we get to do the same thing. It's
Not gonna
quite
happen.
happening.
Oh, Neth. All right. Yeah, that hand cannon's going to very much hurt Lightning Fast. Tried to pick up the Ghost in hand, but it's fortunately not going to happen this time. Has been tagged. That's a great start here for DFM in terms of tempo.
Yeah,
पहला
they'll be able to
कितना
upgrade into the
कितना
Ghost,
स्कोर था
and they took
पहले
rebel
मैच का?
control during all of this, right? Because they put
13
pressure on
दस
to
हारे.
see it's a pistol round. You expect the over
13-10.
rotation.
एक सेकंड ना.
So will not miss a beat. Rebel now in their favor. You still got over 50 seconds, and that's still watching Mount. So worst case, you've got a backup plan on the side of DFM as they start to creep in towards the Killjoy setup on A.
Ooh. I mean, if they can deal with Benkai instantaneously, then that Killjoy setup is null and void. Any case, he uses it right here and now. There comes the rotation, and they're actually going to go for that B site where Lightning Fast is kind of hunkered down in. Hold on, it backfires as the paranoia was good for the swing. Still, though, HP damage is better for DFM, as you can see. Benkai and Lightning Fast are pretty low. Benkai now coming around. Whips the shot, tries to go for first. Not gonna happen, and Medusa with the Sheriff. Ooh boy, that hand cannon is deadly in his hands. Thus settles 3 versus 2. Still not the end. Neth coming in for the big little flanks, and this might be it. Lightning Fast now alone, trying to at least put himself in a position where he can isolate a couple of fights, has a smoke. So maybe if he can deal with Cess right now, that could be a possibility, but they've kind of doubled up here, William. It's just him alone.
I guess go into the smoke, see if he can at least pick up a kill or 2 more.
Oh, they know. Ah, there it is. 3K for Neth. DFM answer back.
Yeah, it's going to be a long journey, but they start in the right direction for DFM. A second one on the board. Now, if they can avoid the Thrifty, we'll see how big the snowball gets. But a good pick from Neth from the get-go. And at the end of the day, it's actually Neth on that long lurk all the way from C that helps secure the round as well.
This is perfect. That slow creep up in the off-angle,
भाई
I don't know, holds here from GE. Split up, or ripped apart by DFM. Now the question lies, are we going to have Thrifty for Thrifty again?
I mean, for DFM's sake, I hope not, right? Win or lose the game. That would be devastating, but it's going to be a heavy buy for DFM as well. You've got 4 rifles, 2 Guardians, but the slow creep out, and then it's going to be the Haunt all the way back, but DFM's ready for it. The Haunt takes a little bit too long to land, and GE, they will get shut down. This looks like it's on the way to a flawless for DFM.
Yeah. Polvy's just a bit too far away to maybe even follow up at all, and even in that case, like, he's already thrown out his nade early on Rubble, and he's alone at this point, so he's probably just going to be waiting.
Oh, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Maximum screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the last one alive. You know that the observer's rule is to focus on the last one alive. That GE capsule, and May just says, what are you doing, my friend? Look at this DFM spray.
Buy the DFM bundle, buy the Global Esports bundle.
I love it.
Pulsar
Yeah.
flawless
You love to see it. You just accept your fate.
G job it.
All right, let's look at that round once again. Talked about it. They just wanted to go for that quick little contact. They probably expected someone to be a lot closer than what they were, but DFM's hanging back, just waiting, knowing again that those thrifty rounds can be pretty deadly here on Lotus.
Absolutely. And now, because of the heavy buy from DFM, it's not a bad bonus. Just one stinger, but it's 4 rifles, 2 of those Guardians.
That's right.
Now, presence already on B main. They've already given up mound control. Neth has to be able to take some rubble control before they hard commit onto this B site.
Lightning Fast really pushing them back at this point. That smoke, not really the one way that they're kind of hoping for, but Polvi still wanting to get control. Question is, are they prepared? Because they've already burned the Paranoia for that B main. So now, if they get pushed here on Mound, this might not go the way that they're kind of hoping for.
Yeah, this could be tough, especially the attacker's Poison Orb. But it's going to be the extra support coming in from Russ, right? Through that revolving door. That's going to push DFM back a little bit. Just to get spotted by it, I'm not sure if intentional, but it almost feels like it is. Just to make them think that we still have someone here. You're still going to have to make sure that you don't over-rotate. But GE, they read right through it. It's the Viper. It's only one. You don't take out the Haunt. That's got to be a rotate.
Yeah, 40 seconds too, and they haven't really done deal with any of the utilities that Benkai still has in this position. Look at how close Lightning Fast and teammates have been playing at the entryway of Tree. Are they going to back away? They have to at this point. 25 seconds, and they're coming into the grinder. That one-way smoke is helping Mouth come closer and closer into the site. Russ goes in, opens up for Blaze King, and they are out in the open. This is a full brawl for DFM, and they have to hold on, which they are doing so perfectly.
Medusa good on the lurk as well with the stinger, and now Polvi spotted. Looks like DFM might start their marathon run here as they're looking for a 4th round win. Polvi, 600 credits left, trying to go for the first kill against 3. Misses the first shot. Doesn't have many options. It's got to be the wraparound from Neth, but he's even playing it safer just in case. They don't want to drop a weapon. Anthem will pick up the kill, get another one on the board towards his nightfall.
Wow. DFM had to hold their ground there. They had very little room for error, as you saw. They just had to go in. Cess even gets the pick off with the Guardian alongside Anthem. Taps have been crispy, and that really held its own, especially when they needed to again plant that spike.
जो ड्रॉप पे मैंने खेल रहा था ना
There you go. Get the energy up. That's
तो
what
उधर वो
DFM needs.
उनका
And meanwhile,
वे
GE,
था तो
before
he should
things
have
get out of
मतलब
control,
वही
they
जो
will
अंदर
call
साइड
for
में था
this
उसने
early
पीछे
timeout
से
in the second
कवर
half.
देना चाहिए था 1v1
Still
जब
having a
फाइट करते
7th
थे
round lead.
ना स्मोक था कुछ नहीं
So
वो
far.
लोग डबल आ गए
Okay, I thought there was something Polvi was gonna do.
But he's just going to take a nap.
Yeah.
He just says, Spin's not talking to me. I can take a nap. No, I'm sure that's not what's happening. Just rest in his eyes.
I mean, that's what you call a power nap, right?
Hey, you need it.
Yeah,
You gotta have
30
the
seconds.
skilled power naps.
Yeah. Get your reflexes back into 100%. But moving back, right, into how this kind of has been playing out, you can see, again, DFM starting to dictate the pace of the game. The response from GE has been quick, but because of that as well, they're burning through their crucial utilities in like the first 30 seconds of the round, which is not really beneficial for GE in the long run, which it has been kind of happening, especially when DFM have been running these rounds to like 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so I think a big part of this is that GE didn't expect DFM to go for these extra rotates, right? DFM, one of the reasons their attacks have always been a little weak is it's fairly simple, it's fairly one-dimensional, but it doesn't fish for too much info. Polvi with a nice hide, but just a Sheriff in hand. This is going to be an eco round for GE. Do they check for this? They're not spamming it.
What?
Yeah?
What in the world?
PC check.
PC check.
This was really just to hide Polvi, and they have no idea. He's missing the shots. He gets only one.
All right.
Oh, man, if he had anything other than a Sheriff, this would have been a very different round. But it's still a 1v2.
Go to come on.
Lightning Fast has been known to make some stellar plays with their Sheriff, so See how that kind of
Open
unravels,
में
right?
Golu.
He still has full utility, by the way, so he
wow.
he can get through things right about now. Using the shot at step to make them second guess again. 4 bullets into the chamber. Coming around the corner is Anthem. But no, he's too quick on the trigger.
Yeah, I don't mind at the second shroud step just to make them think he went into his own smoke. They can't land the shot, so that is
अगर इसका
4 in a
शेरिफ
row
छोड़ के कुछ
now
और रहता था ना
for DFM. GE had the 10 in a row in the first half. See if DFM can replicate the same success. I mean, the thing about that spray from Blaze King was it's really just a timing spray to make sure that Polvy's hit it very well, but just lands it dead on.
Yeah, and I mean,
Bhai, come back nahi,
if
bhai,
there's, like,
please.
a
Come
bajillion
back
players pushing,
nahi.
and you
Come
just
back
pick
nahi.
it on the center of mound, you're bound to hit somebody, but getting kill first also is pretty awesome to see. Anyways, moving forward, lightning fast down the 4-5 as he tries to open
काय जा रहे हो आगे गोलू?
shots. If he gets chased down right
उन
now,
पे ऑफ है
Seth
गोलू,
with
वो स्लो
that
करेंगे अब.
and GE's been kind of struggling keeping hold of these positions. Neth
Nice.
does not get the
Oh
capitated.
my, yeah. With the op in hand as well, so that would have been devastating for DFM. But he does get pushed out. Now, the forward alarm bot returns here for Benkai, and with that out there, that is something that DFM is not ready for. Again, if they play
ठीक है, मेरे को तो
slow,
लगता है ये लोग अल्ट पे
that
खेलेंगे.
alarm bot will ruin every plan. So they're
ये
gonna
लोग और
start
भी
to
नहीं
go.
ले रहे,
Looks
पता है
like
क्या?
the pings are
Honestly,
there,
they're
trying
not
to
taking
clear
any
out.
controller. कोई और फार्म नहीं कर रहे. जैसे A पे फीड प्राउलर सीज के साथ
If they
या
can clear this alarm
सीज
bot
नीड
before
के
the
साथ
40
इन्होंने
second
एक
mark,
और
they'll have
तो
one
फार्म
more
करना
shot.
चाहिए. उनके पास इतने अल्ट आ रहे हैं ना
If
हर
they
राउंड.
wait past
या
it,
अल्ट कर दिया इसने.
oh, they think their other util is clearing everything. I mean, G's still going to react to this just because of the amount of util, but they realize, hey, wait, alarm bot still not triggered. Something's a little off. They're still hanging back to make sure they can rotate back to A. This alarm bot is everything right now. The Nightfall doesn't mean a thing because the alarm bot only barely now activates. Povy's here on the backup. You hear the nanoswarms coming in. Lightning fast, not able to hold on to tree.
Yeah, it's going to be unfortunate for him, even though he did put up a smoke. Oh, and then some. Hold on, though. Like you mentioned, Polvy could go big. Nuclear even. 3 kills into the 4th with a showstopper. Where's Anthem? Pick me up my ace if I can. As they just get isolated, separated, destroyed.
मार जा मत
No
छोड़
ace
पैसा
for
नहीं.
Polvy, but that
पैसा नहीं.
puts us into map point. What a hero play.
What shots from Polvy, and then the immediate call to just go for the showstopper. Even if you die, you're buying time for the rest of backup to arrive. Huge round for the duelist on GE. But overall, a good setup and a good read as well for GE, right? What a jokester. I mean, that forward alarm bot, man, against teams that play slow, it is absolutely devastating if you don't clear that early.
Tells you everything you need to know. Medusa brings out the Odin on attack. I am curious to see how this kind of fares out. Usually you'd see it on Rubble, right, with the wall bangs through, well, obviously the wall. But this time he plays it on Mound.
You're just waiting to see if there's a jump try to trace it back to the corner.
इतना पैसा है अपने पास.
Now DFM though,
पैसा लेके मेरे को नहीं लगता वो इन्हें छोड़ के आएगा ना.
alarm bots out far forward again, so they'll clear it out nice and early this time. Start to push some pressure. It's a good reaction from that Prowler as well. Because Mountain got taken, is it going to be a C to B pinch or a B to C rotate? They spot no one on B main. GE, good to continue to hold their default right now. They still have control of Rubble as well.
Yeah, so everything gives them that information that, again, DFM is just so far back at this point. 40 seconds. DFM is really pushing it.
For DFM,
oh,
okay.
No.
Yeah, doesn't quite get broken.
बहुत बुरे आदमी हो भाई तुम.
Now DFM, because they get the spot onto B,
अभी
okay, we've
इसके
spent
पास
enough
एक
time
अल्ट
trying to pressure the
मेडुसा
other
का
side.
अल्ट
We're
और
gonna try
लेगा
to
भाई.
barrel through C, but the thing is they never actually cleared Rubble. So GE, the backup's already here.
May, he gets a little bit too far. That's not going around Ben and actually pushes
Nice.
into Waterfall.
Nice Ben, nice रस भाई.
Now Anthem
बढ़िया फ्लैश गोलू.
by the paranoia. This is just going
20
very, very bad. Two worse
भाई
for DFM.
बहुत भयंकर खेला है बे गोलू यार ये राउंड.
Yeah,
Stretch पे खेलता है
just an
क्या?
absolute masterclass in the first half, and it took a little while in the second, but they regrouped. A little bit of a switch up on the Killjoy setups, and that's all GE needed to close this
GE
out.
winning.
And DFM, the attacking side, the slow attacks continue to play them, but here on Lotus, even on the defense, they just couldn't find their place
Crazy bolo.
on this 3-site map.
Now with that,
Sa map
we are going into map number 3, but before that, we're going to be passing it on to the panel.
panel, kung sa
Look at the
panel.
smiles on GE's faces. You know they deserve it, especially with a score like that. They're feeling good. They know that they were able to get their momentum back, and I think this is huge for
Sino
GE.
to
It
bot?
was awesome. I mean, just do this with me, guys. Like, close your eyes for a second. Close your eyes.
Closing my eyes.
It's round 7. You're attacking. All your teammates are down. There's 7.
You know,
You'll
even if
watch
I feel like I'm
FNS
wrong
for
or
some time.
whatever, I shouldn't be like that outspoken about it. I think like I could have easily just DM'd him that stuff too. But I don't know him like that, and I just kind of reacted. So my fault on that. I do feel bad about that.
Stream ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕತ್ತೀನಿ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ.
But my opinion hasn't changed on the actual topic. So, anyways, mistakes were made. It's okay. We'll learn. We live and we learn. I'm gonna call it here. I will raid Shanks. Is it Shanks TTV? I forget his fucking.
That wasn't their own pick. What?
Yeah, I don't know why that happens exactly. I mean, Global picked split in the DFM. DFM won that. It was closer than this, obviously, but then Global come out on Lotus. They're like, yeah, we've banned it a couple times. We don't really care. We're going to look amazing on this. They hit their flow state, you know, and I think DFM kind of couldn't figure it out. A lot of
the
a lot of the sites, a lot of the plans, a lot of the post plans, very clean. You see 9 out of 9. Same for DFM, actually, just not as many, obviously. Russ, absolutely fantastic map. Lightning fast as well. Just both insane KDs over 2. And really just essentially doing a lot of the heavy lifting. But everybody had their moments in this map. Even Polvi with that 4K with the showstopper.
The round that changed
गोलू सही खेला है
everything for
गोलू
us.
गोलू का इम्प्रूवमेंट बहुत ज़्यादा हद से ज़्यादा इम्प्रूवमेंट है गोलू पे
It was very close. It was very close. But before we talk about
Very
that
close,
duelist
actually very
showdown,
close.
which has very dire consequences on our little rank board, first, I want to say, for GE, this I feel like they are more confident going into map number 3 because Spin mentioned, before how, the in-between regroups that they have in between each map is the most crucial for them. That's where they struggle the most. And the fact that they are able to make a comeback on map 2 despite, narrowly losing map 1, I feel like then they fix one of their weakest points, which is getting their mental back into the game for this. Map 3 should be smooth sailing for them.
Yeah, without a doubt, the fact that they could come back in this fashion, they whatever it was happening in the first map, clean slate, forget about it. You come into this one, and they started off, a little bit just steady. They didn't push out too much on the attack. DFM pushed out against them. They got a couple of kills. Russ was insane with the Sheriff. And the whole team just kept up that momentum throughout the rest of the first half. That gives you so much more confidence to take on those fights. They were constantly switching things up. Kills were lining up for them. They had a lot of good game plans. I mean, there were even rounds where, it's not through any fault of DFM. They actually tried so hard in a lot of these plays. They had the right ideas, double swinging, double peeking against Global Esports. May even had a round where he dived straight into B site just to try to start the retake. He got a lot of kills off of it, but there was that Viper's Pit, there was that lockdown, and it was just too much for DFM to really break through. So, I mean, hats off to Global Esports. They start things out right on this map.
And I feel like, the comeback for DFM, once they started, getting into the groove of things, it was just way too late. There was just less room for errors, and unfortunately for DFM, just one bad round meant that, GE was at that point already. And, for DFM, again, I feel like, this is a winnable series for them, but it's just that at this point, when it's like, just the morale is just so down, it's going to be very, very difficult. As Legia mentioned, earlier in our coach's interview, that extra pressure on stage is like, that external factor that not a lot of people take into consideration that affects all players that step on that stage. So I feel like, for DFM, we did see May kind of like, he seemed a little down. He seemed to shrink a little bit in his seat, Valdez.
He did, unfortunately for us.
I wanted to bet him.
I'm still thinking about this. No, but I mean, yeah, It was rough. I mean, DFM kind of had this experience last week as well. I think it was against Bleed, right?
Yeah.
Map 3, where it was just like something just happened and they just lost so many rounds in a row. So I don't know what gets into their heads as a team, but certainly we saw a little bit of that today. I think it was also, though, big shout out to GE because, like, especially Russ, like, that entire highlight reel was basically just Russ crazy shots, like the double Sheriff hit, the spray through the pit, like, so many of the moments were basically just Russ dominated, so insane.
But of course, we can't avoid that one special highlight that changed everything in our Guess and Gain game, which was that round that Polvi suddenly got a 4K, and suddenly, you know, instead of it being, you know, kind of close between May and Polvi just took the lead. So that means that Quack, you get to rank up over here. Meanwhile, viewers, myself, and Valdez, we will rank down. It's not that bad. I mean, Valdez, come on, you can still afford to, you know, do this just a little bit. You know, and viewers, come on down with me. We're going back to Globe. We have no progress whatsoever today. We just took a little peek into Platinum and then we're back at Gold. And Quack, you join us now too. Look at that.
Thank you.
We're a happy little group over there.
Back.
Yeah. Let me say hello over here to our trio over here on bronze. Just waving hi over there. But yes, I do think that this is quite a healthy mix, I would say. Oh, quite a healthy spread.
Sure.
Yeah. 3, 3, and 3.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of in a group, you know. Some groups are higher than others.
Yeah, we get it. We get it, Valdez. I mean, like, you know, I don't know. I'm okay here. I had a goal to kind of like see what was after Iron. Like, I wanted to see life after Iron.
That's good.
But in any case, right now, we are going to get into map number 3, which I believe will be Ascent. So, what are we expecting here as we get into this Quack, especially since, you know, for both of these teams, again, says that map, it's that 50-50 map.
It's a little bit of 50-50, maybe not so much now. I mean, the thing is, Global Esports has that confidence. They're kind of in that flow state. Maybe it cooled off a little bit during the break and whatnot, but you got to think about DFM's setup as well. DFM runs a very interesting composition. He runs old composition on this map, so it's that Viper, it's that Raze, always on that Raze. Can Global Esports bring that same performance from Lotus onto this map? I mean, it might be a bit of an adjustment for Polvi to go back to the Jet, and then at the same time, I think Russ has looked really good on this map before, but Global Esports has struggled on Ascent in the past when they were, you know, facing against like the Titans of Pacific and whatnot.
Yeah, anybody would. Anybody would struggle.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting when we watched the map ban pick between the coaches. We had like the 3 DFM guys over there, and there was a lot of discussion about, do we play Breeze or do we play Ascent? And they were like handing the phone back and forth, and I wonder if they were like looking at, you know, GE's stats on it. What are we thinking about this? And eventually it gets to Ascent. So I think having that last pick for the map ban pick would be very valuable, and hopefully that does favor DFM, just so we get kind of a closer bout. Kind of like split for that first map.
Yeah, but again, this is, of course, do or die for GE, right? And going into our agent select for Ascent right now, it's going to be very interesting. As you mentioned, Quack, DFM does have a bit of a unconventional composition as we head into Ascent, right? May, of course, just, you know, really just playing on that signature Raze and never moving out of it. So it's gonna be a battle of, like, you know, who can actually, like, if they're going into the comfort picks, how comfortable are they going to be as Global Esports actually pushes them now that the momentum is in their favor?
I mean, that's the thing, yeah. You have comfort picks, it works out, you practice, you've rehearsed this. Can you bring that practice to perform on stage? You know, it comes down to those emotions as well. Who's going to want the win even more? I mean, Global Esports, their Ascent was like way back in week 1. DFM just played Ascent last week, so you never quite know. The coaches might have stuff prepared as well, and it just comes down to it. Who's going to be able to perform today? I mean, Lightning Fast showed that confidence. Polvi, I mean, Rush showed that confidence. Blaze King has been on top of things all day. Can DFM match that? Are they able to come back from that loss?
And I think like for the side of DFM as well, you know, there were so many small mistakes, like unchecked corners, for example, that really like, you know, got them, you know, all of that deficit into that second map. We're gonna see if that's the case heading into Ascent. Over to you guys, that's Ryan William.
Thank you very much, panel. We are now on to our last map of the night, GE versus DFM. It comes down to Ascent, the decider. Both of them floating this one. You know, obviously Ascent a fairly comfort map for a lot of teams, but in GE, like the guys mentioned, they've had a couple tough matchups so far this year, while DFM, this is where they made a lot of people fans of the new DFM when they took down Team 1.
It was either this or Breeze, and honestly, I'm perfect either way, right? I wanted to see maybe a Mayoru, but moving aside, we're still going to see him on the raise, see how this kind of explodes into play. As the pistol round starts, very aggressive here from DFM. Quickly going for that flash play. No one's home for the moment, but these blades actually spot each other, so they know something's up on short.
Yeah, and DFM will, of course, be starting on that attack, which is where they used to struggle a lot. A big part of that is they only have that KO as their initiator, right? Not too much to gather a lot of info. Risking a second peek, but with the jump, able to keep his life. Just a bit of attack to the wall.
That's both flashes used by Anthem now. They heard that as well. That's going to be a very big sign right now for GE that there's not really too much contact util that DFM can use as the pistol lane continues.
Boombot only going all the way in towards Generator. So that's a lot of util used by DFM just to try to keep them tied up. But GE, they should be wise to this. Povey already trying to clear. If it's going to be a rotate through mid, you still hold on to Market. You got the killjoy set up. Povey's just waiting. He knows that this rotate's happening.
There it is. He's trying to come up that rotation. Actually gets tagged himself, but he's damaged May in the process. Now that smoke actually separates them a little bit in. Benkai waiting at the back of the site. About to get that contact he would want to.
Nice, Benkai. Nice. Nice one.
Trying to push through everything right now, and it's pure chaos.
Nice.
Dust settles. Benkai picks up the 3K. DFM just did not know where to really set their foothold on that B site.
Yeah, I mean, trying to fake out with a solo initiator while the other side's not ready, it's rough, especially on the pistol when you obviously don't have as much firepower or other util to work off of. But all the props on the side of GE, I mean, perfect. Recon here on the entry. That spots out the Viper. Benkai's ready for it, sure. It took a little bit, but he wins out the trade, stays alive. And that's all the time they needed to buy for the backup to arrive. So now DFM just going with all classics. Meanwhile, Outlaw in the hands of Povey. Moving on to mid once again. Now, Neff, the cam in mid now. See if there's a push out.
You can hear the spike being, ult core being picked up right now. Povey has an idea. It's a slow move again from DFM. Now that they've seen a bunch of KO util on A main, just backing away. But the thing is, they weren't successful when they tried to go for this A push. Povey, a bit out in no man's land here, has to back away. So maybe that opens up something to push on. And still, Benkai's util is there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with the classics, it's going to be tough no matter what. It doesn't look like DFM. They want to wait to see if Povey peeks out again. Right? They suspect that it's going to be a clear, but this time with the Outlaw, he's not going to risk it too early with the better weaponry. They're just looking to hold Blaze King, only a Sheriff in hand. Benkai's got a Bulldog, so they got to protect this weapon. Benkai getting tagged.
Really need to be careful anymore, but 3K, that's going to be pretty bad. And he's been gobbling up all these kills, man. 3K already. Halfway there to the lockdown. An ace for Ben.
Big Ben not going to get it this time. That's lightning fast with the
last kill, the kill secure.
Yeah, I mean, it would have taken a little while for Benkai to go all the way around, but 4 kills in that last round, 3 before that. Only 2 points away from his lockdown. On the defensive side, this makes things a lot easier for GE already going into this round and the next, where he'll surely have it in the next round. just going for the double tap to make sure he'll actually get a buy one, get one free on that one. That's a good hold. I mean, obviously it helps that he's got another member with him, right? So that they can hold on to that together on that side with Blaze King. Now
Good
the
lad.
one-way comes
Hello.
out.
Do you
Oh,
any
he
good
swings
Valorant
right around it.
accommodation? I don't
Lightning
know.
fast, quick on that anti.
You need to
Yeah.
just, you can just
They
search
still
on
have control of this one.
Instagram. I think you'll find.
DFM don't actually want to go for that aggressive push anymore. Blaze King, he's waiting around the corner with the judge. Medusa,
That's
no escape, no surrender, no mercy. All of these flanks, man, all of these lurks just kind of backfire against DFM.
oh, and then the outlaw as well. I mean, this is a brutal round. This is with your buys. You're trying to go for contact clears because you have the better weaponry. You're trying to
I
hang
don't know,
around the
personally,
far
I don't know
part of the wall,
any
even
new.
on
You'll
that
have to search it on
push.
Instagram. I have
And
seen
you get
multiple
contact
ads on
with the turret, you think
Instagram for
you're
that,
safe to
so you
back
can
out.
search on. You
The
find
judge
where you
is
can
right
do
around
this.
the corner.
But
I
then my
mean,
suggestion would be don't buy any accounts.
this is
because
GE
that's
just having perfect reads to get the spot. It's only one kill over for Anthem. And this is starting to feel a little repetitive from that Lotus first half as well. The snowball continues.
Yeah.
I mean, I think so. Okay.
This
I think
time,
only one thing.
There's no
Ek hi
more
pump bhai,
set
ek hi
defense
pump.
that's really gonna, I feel like, save them compared to Lotus, or Thrifty rounds. I feel like that will save them from Lotus, especially with how, I guess, quick the contacts have been from GE here.
Why is Blaze King so
How they
quiet
could
today?
just, again, get that quick little contact, back away into safety, and then there's no real trades that DFM can, really pick up.
Yeah, I mean, of course, also DFM being on the attack now as well, right? I mean, they're the ones who has to take the initiative, so with the Sheriffs, it's going to be a little tough, but
yeah,
they'll have a go at it here in round 4. Now, what I would love to see past this eco round from DFM is if you're not able to gain better control of A main right now, change up the toxic screen default a little bit, right? Try to just cut up the map a bit more so you can use the screen to start to gain more space, because at the end of the day, with only one initiator in that KO, you have to use your smokes to start to creep up bit by bit, start to pressure things like mid, as they will do right now by cutting off both parts of mid, the flash drive forward. And that's already a step forward now. They've taken down the alarm bot. Even if they don't win this round, that's value gain for the future. It's something that they can remember.
Yeah. Now they're slowly creeping up here. They're so careful. All of everything, right? They're scanning as much as they possibly can, using the blade. And they're backing away. They're really selling this kind of push on mid. The rotation could come through on short, but there still is Lightning Fast and Russ holding the position right now. Lightning Fast has been jumping, spotting to see if Medusa's going to go for that aggressive push. Snakebite to maybe corral him around the corner, but he's an Omen. He can shut and step out of coverage. He's going to be safe. Polvi now spots it, holds on to Heaven. That's going to be the raid boss for you. And Anthem comes in for another fight. Is it going to be possible? But even if he can get the pickup, there's still 2 players holding on to that A site. It's all down to Cess, and Benkai spots him for the finale.
Yeah, Polvi just nice and calm all the way far back. Uses that distance to his advantage. Good sidestepping as well. 6-0 for Polvi, 9-0 for Benkai. Glow-up games for both of them as they now lead 4-0. No need for extra buys either. I mean, they've been able to snowball with these weapons, with these rifles. Polvi going straight from the Outlaw to the Vandal, and he'll just be keeping that. We'll see if the op ever comes online or if he's just going to be sticking with the rifle all through and through. I mean, if you're not dying, no real need for it.
Yeah.
And there's the timeout from DFM. I would love to see this toxic screen change up, because right now it's not gaining you much value, right? You're not creeping into a short or anything like that. Or, at the very least, creep into a short at least once, right? Creep into tree, gain a little bit of that, push them back further, because until you get right up next to that site, the KO util isn't going to mean much.
Yeah, and that's perfect too, because we've seen GE give up so much control, except for Polvi, that has been pushing, short like 5 times in a row now, where he's alone by himself. So that's perfect. Like, if they can at least somehow manage to, push short or top mid as well as through tiles, they could maybe get the catch onto Polvi here, who kind of tends to over push on short sometimes and doesn't, kind of pre-prep his tailwind.
They are good. So they are getting fed every time.
So this time it looks like it might be a setup over onto tiles. Not quite a crunch, but it does look like the Sova is going to send over support on the side of GE all the way towards B. Let's see if Polvi can go for a peek out.
Boys played.
Yeah, there's the push out, and there's the spot with the recon. It's perfect. The recon goes deep. I mean, DFM, they thought they were ready for a push out, but not like this.
That's done as well, so Polvi can just haphazardly push his way onto mid without any repercussion of those tripwires. That being said, though, DFM realizes this, and they do not waste any time to start pushing into that A side. That spike should get planted right here and now. But of course, don't forget, Benkai is still alive. He's got that lockdown to push against them. So DFM taking that more aggressive, proactive stance, wants to fight before that happens, and it works in their favor for their first round.
Yeah, while they won't get the spike plant money, I love the proactiveness there, just saying we got to push out, right? We don't have control of tree, and our lurk right now, it's been picked off. We got to take care of Polvi. It's a good call from DFM. And despite GE having a good read after the timeout, I love the setup over on B main. They used the showstopper to be able to break through.
Yes, I am Indian.
Saves them somehow, but this time it incurs the purchases for mobile. You can see operator on Polvi, and Blaze comes back on his Odin.
Yeah, that off angle we've been seeing more and more as well. Try and just get an off timing, go for the collapse. Not going to find the kill just yet. It's an early blast back in. May doesn't quite catch sight of Blaze King just yet. Over on steps, and Blaze King's just waiting patiently for an early kill.
Oh, and he backs away to second position on triple. Neth finally catches him, so that's going to follow up with the neural theft. A full secure onto the B site as the first ping comes out, and this is good for them. Polvi has blades for that quick contact, so not going to rely on the operator for the moment. Now they're flanking around. This could be bad if they can't hold on to B main. Again, the lockdown is going to be quite deadly from Benkai. They go in for the aggressive push, and Benkai picks up the 3. 2, excuse me. Maybe a third? Anthem holding on. Neth, not spotted. Neth, one-on-one!
Red ILF,
Trigger
which team you
discipline from
support?
the Sentinel.
From a Pacific perspective,
Like you said, just hold on.
GE is an Indian team, so I
knows he
support,
doesn't
but I
have a
love
kill yet,
PRX.
knows he hasn't been spotted.
And the other
A
team,
great hold
it's
and an
about 2 teams,
absolutely
these 3 teams,
precious
GE,
save for
PRX, etc.
DFM
So
to
either
get
of the
another
3 wins.
much needed round win here in round 6. I mean, Death opens up the site as well this time. Honestly, Benkai with that double, he delivers onto Polvi, going for that aggro play with the updraft. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Neth who holds on to it. And now another op still purchased. A lot of creds were banked up by GE. Polvi has to back away. That toxic screen now doing its job.
Oh, early from Anthem here. Very proactive. Play! Russ! What are these double kills from GE? They just line up. The timing perfect. Now we do see the DFM somehow manages to pick their way through a main, but there's no more. Never mind, I take that back. Medusa has a double pinch coming in from short. Does get the pick off, so GE not comfortable just yet coming in through that site.
I'll be very honest, I don't understand why you are.
Yeah, but you have that lockdown, and they purposely put it up on Heaven because there's no fragment left. So you know that this can't be destroyed. Everyone has to back out of the site. There's no other way. The lockdown completely safe. He's going to go for the half early. He's heading right behind Generator as well. It's not a good angle, and the Odin just to hold them at bay. It's, gets taken down.
1v2, it's been halved. Medusa on A main. One coming in around the corner. No smokes for Blaze King because he's a Sova, obviously. Now coming in, the flash is going to be perfect, and Medusa comes in for the swing. The safety, the savior. Split second kill to stop that defuse from pushing out from GE.
GE gets a little lax. They just think that the Odin and the spam will save them long enough, but the snake bite, I believe, lands. Puts the decay on 2, maybe 3 of them. And it's just an absolute spray down from DFM.
I don't understand why they're doing this.
These are some incredible round wins, getting away by the skin of their teeth here from DFM. But a win is a win.
Yeah.
And that now gets rid of the option for an operator. The Odin still comes back, but GE starting to run a little bit dry on their creds.
Look at this, Polvi wanting to go for his
Can they go,
shenanigans, but 3 players now encroaching into his territory.
Probably only good for 1.
So close, as you can see right now. May's so aware of it, and that cleans up onto A short. They're wanting to see how they're going to be able to approach this. Now they do, and that's already a 4 versus 5 very quickly.
Yeah, now during all of that, you set up the early cam, the early server cage, destroys the alarm
भाई
bot.
ऐसा
Now
मत
you know
करो भाई,
someone has to
attack,
be
don't
watching
give
mid.
them any
So at
chances,
best, it's a
man.
1-1-2 split with only 4 members left from GE. Oh, he even gets the tag onto Blazing. That's huge. I mean, that's all the confirmation you need. You have the numbers advantage.
There's a nade on May. If he's aware on Wine, if he throws this right now, this is going to be bad for Lightning Fast, but he actually goes onto the site. They're not going to know about this. He's got the perfect timing right now, and he catches it. Spike as well in hand. Paranoia as well. Cess cannot back away from this one. Sees the Shrouded Step, but he does get tagged by the Hunter's Fury. So this is he going to ulti for the... No, okay, he picked up the Spike. He's going to be fine for now.
Yeah, he sneaks that away, but right now, Lightning Fast, he's got his ulti. So he's just going to regroup, but Neth, now he has to be concerned. Is it coming further from the flank or not? The Paranoia will buy some time.
Oh, he wanted to go for the push out if he can. Shock Dart! Could actually get dead!
The spray!
Oh my goodness, this is all up into the hands of Blaze King. Slowly coming around the corner, and Blaze King! Neth, you get 2, I get 2 myself.
This is the ascent of doubles, Asterai.
Oh.
It's just double kills every round that turn the tide. What in the world? What's crazy is this isn't the craziest game of Ascent we've seen, but I still can't believe what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, these are some very, very good, just sneaky plays on both sides, and great double kills on both sides as well.
Very true. Did Neth spot them before the smoke
I believe
came
he
out?
spotted both right before the smoke blooms, but
All right.
still, to be able to have that spray control at that
Absolutely.
range.
Absolutely.
Come on, don't.
And this gives a little bit of fighting chance for GE in terms of that economy, because if they didn't win that one, it would have been just in tatters, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And meanwhile, for DFM, sure, they've been winning rounds, but it's always been with these clutches, so they still don't have a full buy.
Ooh, he close.
Ovi? Oh, he hides behind it. He gets the perfect read on the screen.
Oh, gets traded by Cess, sure, but
Nice
Blaze is already there.
Nice.
So once again,
screen advantage.
lay waste
Crazy.
everybody
Nice.
pushing from DFM. That's a Spike already dropped as well. Neth and teammate now trying to at least go the other direction. I think he spotted Russ as well. Russ very aware of his positioning, very deadly. He gave it up. And now it's all down to Medusa, not spotted by the drone. And he's got a lot of work before he can even pick up that Spike.
Yeah, 1v4. He knows the location of Russ, but that's about all he gets.
Quit
Knows
down
Silva
there.
was in mid,
Nice.
so the drone
Oh,
catches that. Sneak bite should land. Yeah, Russ, okay.
30 seconds. He's got some time.
Suddenly this is doable.
Bus. You
Me
can,
too, 9
you
HP.
know, don't through.
Oh, Benkai, clean with the shot, shuts down the dream.
Yeah. That was kind of, risky for
throw
Lightning
करने
Fast,
के
but I guess he
जब
just
pass
wanted to make
approach.
sure where he was.
Yeah, I think just having faith, right, that you still have the extra member, you just kind of become the
yeah.
drone.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you don't get headshotted right away. But Polvi, I mean, he always intended to hide behind that screen, it looks like, but his perfect timing away from the flash as well. Just tucks in.
What's even interesting is he didn't make a sound. It looked like he should have, right?
I mean, it looked like he was going to panic, but he just barely sneaks in.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, bunch of ultimates right now available for DFM. Not the ones that they might want to for pushing.
Oh, you cannot stick around when that recon lands there. I think Neth was expecting it to be a crunch, right? And that's the trouble with that recon, is you don't know if it's a tiles crunch or not. So he wants to try to shut down the jet, but the jet never comes. It's just a spray of bullets.
Can't get away from the Wrath of Odin. Lightning Fast got himself a pretty position here, and the secondary fallback for Blaze King. Now that they hear the Odin, they're like, we're not going to screw this one. Even if we push through the smoke, just a couple of, suppressing fire from the LMG.
You can flash, you can
Be a
mine,
bad
but
day for the
kahan hai
rest of the
pata nahi
DFM
chata.
players.
Yeah, so now it's up to Medusa to
Double
try
kill.
to keep
Nice,
some
it's
space
good,
made,
it's
but G's ready for it. Got 2 members even, Polvi. He'll be the first contact, but at the very least, that'll be the hard sell that there's nobody left on B main. They still have the numbers advantage, 5-4. You've still got that alarm bot in mid. GE, no reason to move an inch. They've got every entrance into the sites covered.
If they start making noise right about now, Russ' only response is going to be a flash drive coming into this one. There's the play coming in from Anthem. No way he can escape this one. And it hits onto lightning fast. That's going to be huge. Still, Heaven has not been detained, has not been defeated. May making as best of an impact as he can to just force him back out. That's going to be the plan onto the spike. Blaze King stopping shots, and May somehow manages to escape as he drops down back into the site where Medusa now has prepped up that Viper spit.
Oh, this pit. Sure, it makes it really difficult to get into the drop, but if they somehow just lands outside. Medusa finds one right outside of the pit, so they know he was generator. But yeah, you have to go across, but Medusa just goes for the spray after here's the updraft. And now Polvi, not much of an option.
Oh, here's the drop down too. Right on the edge of the smoke, and there it is. Polvi very much lost in the sauce, so couldn't really do anything.
What a sight open by May. I mean, just dives right in. That showstopper barely lands right at the corner, gets that kill. But that snap right up onto Russ, that's the crucial one, because otherwise that Odin would have been free to continue spraying onto the site.
Absolutely.
Oh, he saw his feed. Wow.
Yeah. That's,
Okay, so the timeout comes out, and I don't mind it because now at 4 rounds, if DFM can get one more round, they're pretty comfy on their defensive defaults. Sure, everyone has the tape on it now, but it's still a pretty difficult one to break through.
Yeah. Global Esports still have been somewhat challenged on mid for the most part, right? Even though DFM tend to lose it, they haven't been willing to just give it up. So they want those options, as you were mentioning at the start of this game. They realize that, and they've been very adamant at forcing those fights. And it's been working, honestly. If they can get the kill onto Russ, who's been so much holding onto short rather than Polvi, this is huge, because Russ has been a big factor with those flash plays on the retake as well.
Yeah, and also I think, you know, the early ops, after they banked up the entire bankroll, and you drop both ops in a row, that really hurt GE, because now Polvi can't just hold from market or for short, A short, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of forced Russ to be in that position so Polvi can be a bit more mobile. But now it's just going to be a hero vandal or Polvi.
Okay. Smoke drop right in front of him too. So he,
Yeah, this was another attempt at the same setup here, but DFM this time pretty wise to it.
Yeah. Medusa, does he push through the smoke here, though? He's actually at the corner, but his own smoke actually doesn't allow Polvi to stay far at that entryway of B main. So he just decides to back away, especially with that Hero Vandal. They gotta make sure that they can use this one resource best way possible.
Shock Dart just to buy a little bit more time on A and GE. They will start to group up, right? This is the first sign of contact that they've gotten. You plant Benkai right behind that toxic screen. And then the immediate spread back out from GE. I mean, they're trying to maximize their chances of making the right call here.
Now they
know where Polvi is. He's actually doubled up with Russ for the most part.
Yeah, they spot the Vandal too. That's the big one. Surely they check it this
time. Yeah, of course they will. That wall's still up. He cannot dash through that just yet. Risk from Polvi actually pays off somehow. The flash through from Russ. Not gonna get that benefit that he was kind of hoping for. And now Polvi tries to back away. That does allow
Vandal.
And hold that mid control as long as possibly can, but Polvi re-encompasses with the rest of DFM, or excuse me, with GE, so they can start picking up weapons here and play this 3 versus 3 retake.
You have the Hunter Sphere as well if it's need be, but Polvi obviously quite low. Cess trying to set up for the smoke, allows Polvi to get into the Cloudburst. He actually gets a 3rd kill. Medusa and Anthem will trade back. It's all down to Polvi. The spray's coming through. He's trying to isolate the 1v1s, and Anthem will get the shot as soon as he sees the target. And DFM chase up to 5.
One more round to go. That was huge from them as well. Finally making sure, right, to just check that corner just in case.
Yeah, I mean, Polvi does everything he can, tries to get ahead of that Neuro Theft when he jumps onto Arch. He did everything correctly, but at the end of the day, the firepower not on their side, and DFM having better control. So now the last round, Op finally returns for Polvi. That'll allow him to be the one stationed over by tree. Meanwhile, everyone else holding their standard positions. Odin going away at it on B.
It's a very early camp too on top mid. I think Neth actually took it back. So Polvi can't break that. But look at Polvi. He's actually already pushing up onto top mid right now. Could get that quick little contact against Medusa.
But he doesn't check
He does
the
not.
right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Fury though comes out from Blaze King, and this opens up an opportunity for us to
एक
play
ना right इतना है
themselves
ना
3 versus 2. One at the site. It's only going to be Benkai. Now Blaze King comes into play. Ultimate used, and that's going to still be on Jenny here. Benkai comes in for the perfect timing swing, and it almost
swing
went
नहीं
the
करना था
direction
मेरी जान.
of GE, but DFM, 2 players still at A main, and that's going to be the equalizer.
I mean, even the from the shadows, all of it, well played by DFM, trying to make sure that GE can never
वो
fully
लड़का है पता है
stabilize
यार
that
Hyperion तो obviously
2v3
लड़ करेगा.
so that they can get into the site.
We should have been more aware, on that.
Good bounce back from DFM after losing a 4-0. I mean, giving up that bonus round win over to GE as well. And now they go on to their comfort zone. On the defense, the way they use that Cypher and Viper, it's always been very well done. Some sneaky spy cams over from Neth as well. Oh, and this fan, they're going to their mandatory military service on June 17th. So they just hope that DFM wins before they have to go serve.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
It's a very tight-knit one. Obviously, as we can see, 6-6.
See if DFM can deliver that wish here. It'd be a big one.
Yeah. I will say, though, from that last round that we saw,
इसमें at least
and
behind gen करना चाहिए था.
a look from Benkai.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What do you want from me?
Yeah. Well, anyways, as I was mentioning, Medusa's been pretty good at kind
ये
of
अच्छा है
playing
but then he
off
just
of
needs certain
the
control.
information that he gets from his teammate and GE.
बहुत
right?
मतलब I
Neth
don't
picks
know
up
यार. I don't.
the camera to bait in Polvi, and then he was just waiting for someone to go aggressive, and he read Polvi in that situation as to why he didn't really hit his teammates or hit up with his teammates on A main.
Yeah, I mean, the lurks have been much more successful from Medusa. I think very well controlled. Like you said, working off of hard info rather than assumptions like he has in the past. It's been going very well for DFM. So for now, the setup is going to be the
Toxic
Viper
screen
on
उन्होंने retake
B.
रखा है.
Cypher setup
मार्क
on
वापरते बे
A.
नहीं.
That toxic
अभी
screen
इनको.
just to delay B and also allow for that mid control.
Oh, but they're not really actually going for that hard struggle on A main, right? Might as well just go for that mid control. Sure, there's going to be a wall there, but once you bypass it, there's literally nothing. It's all about that dry contact, what we're going to be seeing here from May. Still holding on to that paint shell, so that's going to be very important coming in to the follow-up of this round.
Okay, so they've snuck in all the way, but yeah, they haven't really been set up for anything else, as a lot of time has passed as well, so I wasn't sure if they'd commit to it.
Nice that.
They actually pressure back on mid. So they're continuing to just try to make sure that DFM has to play further and further back. Make sure that they cannot work off of the util setups that they already have on the defaults.
Yeah.
Anthem with a nice peek, spots 3.
One little wall bang there, and he's done. Any case, here they come. Anthem still has full util, so if he can throw right now his nade somewhere, maybe on steps or something, this is going to be perfect for them. There it is, just to get that bit of a delay. Smokes as well, separate a lot of information for both teams. Line of sight, including Medusa still holding on to the smoke, and he's got a Sheriff in hand. Goes for the reload. Do they hear this? He's coming in hand-in-hand with Cess as Blaze King holds on to the entryway of Market. No eye set there, but with the jump up, actually does not get hit, and they get traded in perfectly. 4 versus 3. Polvi coming in from the swing.
Oh, the jump in,
smoke.
the reload!
Oh,
One.
May still gets it. 2 versus 2. Numbers dwindling down, lightning fast. Somewhere on B main. Polvi readdressing around the corner. Now, I don't think he saw Polvi coming around as well, so he's gonna just think that he's gonna be the back of the site. He's gonna waste so much time thinking, where is my challenger? There it is, one coming in, and Polvi picks up the 3K. What a play.
Oh, Polvi with the early wraparound. You love to see it. Always keeping that extra option here for GE. That's a solid pistol pickup. And already you can see that GE, they're being pretty cautious of DFM's potential setups, right? You know that these default setups from DFM can really mess you up with the Cypher and the Viper. So they're constantly just trying to force him slowly back out away from the site. Make sure you have the numbers advantage.
Nice color. That's a sigh of relief there from Povey, feeling the pressure, especially with Neth just being the last player standing. See how good he's been. Ooh, Cess wanting to hold. Is he gonna peek? Oh, they're gonna go for a flash play. They back away. They're safe.
Yeah, very fast reaction out from GE.
छोड़ो काय को काट लिया
Meanwhile, out
चले
of
जा
mid, Blaze King just going for some spam, it seems, through that toxic
break हो गया
screen.
उनका डिफेंस
Gets a big pick onto
एक मिल गया ना
Medusa, so
किल
now mid entirely
निकल जाओ
geared up. We do see that Neth already set up that cam that he often uses over on B that helps look into market. And that's one that will always be a thorn. That's something that GE has to keep in mind in future rounds, that they have to clear out early. Otherwise, even if there's no alarm bot, a lot of your pressure starts to get red.
Fair enough.
भाई
This
Ben
time,
तू भाई पीछे के
not going to be the case, especially with all the players of DFM hopefully stacking onto that A site. Now they're not going to even touch this site at all. Probably just play that exit. Are we going to see something that, you know, maybe divided and somebody from GE just stays on the site, waits for everybody to try to, you know, die to the explosion and just try to pick up those ult
भाई तुम्हारा
opportunities?
इकम है नहीं
I mean,
सुकर
listen,
तुम्हारा
I
पीछे
say give over the stinger over to Russ, try to go in, get some kills, or everyone push out together.
Oh.
Because if you can get that null command early, that would be nice, but now time dwindling, so only lightning fast looking for a couple of those. And they will just eventually all make their exit.
Oh, are they going to be pushing? Oh, there it is.
Wow.
All right. Still one.
Yeah, Russ still gets one. That's all he wanted. Just one extra ult point.
Human brains are hard to replace.
Now
All
that,
right.
Yeah. Now that being said, right? What's the follow up here for DFM? Because they haven't had too much success, I think, with, you know, you've been talking about how Nets util has been pretty important, but it's just been the camera giving that information. No threats just yet that we've kind of seen play perfectly with the tripwires.
Yeah, so I was wondering if they actually just go for a trip in mid, right, for this buy round, because you know you have the better weaponry, try to just play further back.
Yeah.
But they're still going to go for the trap setups over on by the sites. Cess all alone on A, though. Just a trapwire to protect tree. So that's mostly for me to get the exit. At a certain point, I expect Neth to rotate over if you see no contact, right? Just leave the Odin alone. You've still got the cam. You've still got the cyber cages over by B. Medusa got to get an early kill. He doesn't know that. Benkai's already through. Now he does. He's trapped. Ooh. Oh, he'll actually save himself out of that. The pop flash, and he still gets away. The backstep.
That is perfect. Absolutely perfect from Medusa. You're trapped in here. I'm trapped in here with you? No, you're trapped in here with me. This is my...
Oh.
My domain. Okay.
What a dink.
You love to see it.
That stinger. Can't underestimate it. But for now, it's just going to be weapon upgrades over by mid, by GE. See what damage more they can do. But DFM, they still got sights on it. You've still got that cam over by B as well by Switch. So all in all, pretty safe. It's really up to May and Cess. Cess is pretty low, so this is not going to be the easiest of holds. Paranoia early, May already outside.
Oof. Medusa just holding on to heaven there. Needed to go for the pinch. Cannot find Cess for a couple of more seconds. Now May in 1v1 against Blaze King. Shot dart is perfect! And he can at least make this expensive as he tries to plant down that spike. Are they going to try to just drop in on his face? He's got a weapon here, so... Oh, they doubled up. Blaze King cannot. The white string from Anthem just messes up with his aim, and that's going to be around for DFM.
But like you said, a decently costly one, right? I mean, you drop 3 weapons. Thankfully, you'll still be able to save out the Odin. But armor taken away from Anthem as well. So GE doing what they can. We'll see how they string it together. Now, that will delay things like the Operator in the future rounds. So it should have a bit of a snowball effect.
And these holds for Medusa. He just, what, no assist whatsoever from the rest of DFM. Full confidence on his plays. This is what you want to see from someone that, again, was struggling with those alert duties that he has when he was still playing as that Sentinel, right? Now that he's on controller, he's got a lot more options to, especially on a Viper, a lot more options to be aggressive by himself.
Yeah, for sure. You want to have that confidence to be able to win out your duels. So now this time, it's a different setup over by A site. It's a double up with the Toxic Screen and the Cypher. And DFM does this a lot. They switch things up. They've pushed out B main purposely because of it, right? They want to shift their weight all the way towards the A side.
Ooh, tripwire.
Yeah, that'll buy enough time. GE panicking, wondering why there's no response from it just yet.
Well, they're hiding on hell. Oh, the flash! No!
Missed.
He didn't actually hit his own teammate.
No.
That is not good, but Anthem still here holding on with the Odin. Finally gets the pick off. Out in the open. That is
भाई
going to
जब
be an
पता है
easy
तुमको
pick for
भाई
May, as
उधर ही
you saw
दौड़ोगे
Lightning
क्या
Bolt just TP
प्लेस
trying
किंग
to
भाई
step right in front of his face.
पता है ना उधर
Now
रोलिन
it's
है
going to be Benkai, Spike already lost. And Anthem, there's the blade, there's the spot, now he knows.
Yeah, that 0 point, perfectly timely, and the high-low setup. May will actually get the kill. So both May and Anthem very close to their own ultimates in the upcoming rounds.
This is perfect for DFM. Everything that GE are throwing right at them, specifically on that short play, just
मेरे को तो लगता है इनको अगर मिल गया था ना वो गलत वाला पिक निकल जाना था.
What a catch.
Yeah, just great awareness and focus to make sure he tracks all the way through. Right, now we have, I believe, the pit available for DFM. See if it's just going to be an early send here by Medusa. He is waiting by mid. They're going to go for the early stacks on the tripwire. So it's not going to be an early pit, but at a certain point I can see it being used. They have used it before, you know, on something like B main after a while just to force the rotates out.
Yeah. Still, though, might not want to do that, especially with Blaze King still alive. Recon Dart saved up in his hand, so...
Yeah, Hunter's Fury as well.
Yeah. Could be just expecting that too, no?
It would definitely be a tough one. This spy cam, see if GE, if this escapade is all just to break the camera, because then I would like to commend him, because that's a huge part. Spots 2 on this jump from Cess. It's a lot of information.
Camera taken out.
Do it again. Nah, not gonna happen this time.
But now that everyone's seen that spy cam, right? They spam through it. They spam through the edge of that roof to make sure that they take it out. Even though only a feed are showing, GE already putting a wrench into DFM's plans. It's just the 2 trips, and now the pit being used to try to deny this. They avoid the Hunter's Fury. No tags at all.
They have to commit to this dude, 30 seconds, and they've already done so much. Are they really going to go the other direction? Maybe, just because they don't really want to deal with this Viper's Pit, but they're coming in to Net that is waiting with the Odin. One good spam through the smoke could really mess it up here for GE, and there it is, 2K for Net. He backs away safely into B main, 12 seconds, and GE, they got to choose. Rush.
Spikes down.
No, they gotta have to save. They're backing away. Yep, they've already lost this round, and they realize it.
Oh, the Toxic Screen timing is perfect from Medusa to mask Neth as he just waits for the audio cue, and once the screen goes up, he knows it's time just to delay, but gets the best possible outcome. Double kill onto the spike.
Viper किधर है क्या है?
And I mean, you could tell, right? I mean, that rotate was with no information from GE, quite frankly.
Yeah.
They just didn't get a tag on the pit. They said, hey, we've probably drawn enough attention. Let's just go for the rotate, because right now going to the pit would be absolute death, which is true. Yeah. So I don't blame them, but it was an absolute tough call to make from GE.
Yeah, and to add to that, too, you saw Neth putting his util on A, and then him going to B, so he already expected that the null command was going to be used at some point. So if it was there, it wouldn't be deactivated at all through the AoE of that, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's what DFM always does when the opponents have that null command, right? Is they always split the Viper and the Cypher, and then they put up the
null command तब तो कैसा किया उसने ये भी है ना.
I think that was part of the call, is that they hear the pit, and they say, okay, all right, the Cypher is not going to be on this side. We got to just go wherever it's got to be weaker, but it's just that Odin through that Toxic Screen. I mean, that's the last thing they might have expected. Bit of an unfortunate call from GE.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. That's really gotta hurt too, because they saw nothing and they took every bit of damage flung their way. Now, DFM got themselves.
अगर वो एक ट्रेड में मिल सकता तो शायद हो भी जाता.
GE still manages to pick up a couple of rifles, but I mean, you kind of see it right now. They're struggling to find any kind of advantages at all. DFM's just swatting it away.
See if GE can figure out a better way to force DFM's hand here. This time another stack onto the A side. Really just preparing B side for a potential retake with the weapon advantage. Correctly reading that it's just a half buy on the side of GE.
Cess was deciding if we want to throw out the paranoia. Not this time. They actually back away, May and Anthem as well, so they're probably expecting a push. Mid-rotate somehow if they were successful in just, again, pushing back GE from that initial contact on short.
This cam finally gets broken down, but that's Jet spotted as well over by A main. So DFM, recognizing that we'll hold on to mid, but let's shift our weight back onto A. So Lightning Fast and Anthem, they're on the lurk right now. Both sides thinking that they have better control of mid. The ping shows it's going to be perfectly timed. Denies the timing on this recon. And GE, I mean, if they rotate now, it's going to be the same thing as that previous round. No information, you just have to go in blind. They're going to be running in. Anthem, they don't check the same corner. Anthem gets one. They're trying to spam through the wall. He's trying to go for a second. We'll get two, and Neth is ready for the trades.
Yeah, 15 seconds. Lightning Fast, if he picks up a kill here, maybe that's going to help them out. Tripwire is only on A main, so they should be able to cozy on their way here, as you do see both Polvi and Lightning Fast now picks up a bit of rifles in their hands. 4 versus 2. This is very difficult in terms of holding that side, especially with no more paranoia into Lightning Fast and still waiting for a second smoke to come up online. Decides to put it onto the one-way on doorway here, as Polvi's gonna have to hold onto Heaven first. There's the peek out from May, and they're dropping in like boys, and Lightning Fast and Polvi pulverizing DFM to a puddle.
Just an absolutely brilliant hold there from GE. The way they decide to hold that angle, right? So you put the one-way smoke over by door in case it gets broken for a pinch. And then you're trying to make sure if you can get, Polvi tries to see if he can get a cheeky first kill up on the box. But you see the Cyber Cage come out, and they both decide we're just going to line up right here, right by Dice. And we'll pick them off as they try to spread out around the Cyber Cage. Lightning Fast is ready to cover the right side as Polvi goes for the left. An incredible duo here from G, and now it's a push out from DFM. Upping the tempo, they take away one of the smokes away from GE.
Yeah, that's Lightning Fast already down, so GE feeling the pressure once again, gonna be forcing their hand into this B side of GBC! Death! Oh my god! Bro, calm down! It's like just stellar holds on this B side, and that dissuades GE from pushing even further.
Yeah, and he actually recalls the tripwire over by main just to make sure he has extra time bomb upstairs if need be. So you still have Medusa watching from lane. This tripwire, hard to break from market. You gotta have your teammates try to break it from main, so you know that no one's coming in through there just yet. Anthem just wants to make sure that he's not getting caught off guard by the flank all the way through mid.
There it is, the real theft for that extra bit of information. Benkai trying to cross the corner there so he doesn't get trapped, just in case maybe some utilities thrown his general way. And this is so hard for GE. They still haven't cleared too much right now, and aware that Medusa's somewhere around the corner right now. Neff trying to run away, holding his own. Blaze King finds Anthem, and they somehow get that B site off of just pushing them back with some aggressive maneuvers.
May's got Showstopper. Do they have a timing on the plant? But it's a nice fragment.
They got locked down. Ooh.
Oh, this. Oh, and then the
blade comes in, and May,
the 0 point,
befuddled.
The absolute suppress.
What timing from Russ? And May was like, I'm gonna keep pushing. It doesn't matter. We got the firepower. It actually backfires.
I mean, that is just absolutely rough. It looked like May was about to try to jump right in mid-air. Gets his rocket taken away. I mean, the lockdown as well. GE knew exactly what they were up against. They knew the win condition from DFM. They knew that if they let that Showstopper come through early, that's the death of him.
100%. And it all started from Benkai, you know, using that lockdown. Byproduct is that's also something that May has to break with his Showstopper.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. I want to see that again.
I mean, and the fragment early on as well to make sure that they deny the early push in when they're planting. I mean, all of this well thought out from GE.
You guys. We three also playing, bro. Let's go.
It's not just you guys. The whole team trying to come online for GE. Now taking the lead back 10-9. This is as close as it gets here. DFM. Their last time out. All timeouts now set and
It
done.
was a knife, bro. Not the another one.
Truly has been.
I mean, it really just goes to show that, that this is a desperately needed win for both, right? Sure, DFM might be out of playoffs contention, but again, these records will all matter towards stage 2, towards the championship points as well. And DFM, of course, they would like nothing more than to leave stage 1 with a little bit of a positive note for their fans. And GE, they've still got hope.
Absolutely. As long as they can get this W on this series, there is that possibility for them. And, you know, the other thing as well, every single team right now getting so much XP. We're seeing, again, DFM come into a certain form here, not only just relying on, you know, we've been talking about just May doing his own thing. Everybody else just picking up the pace.
Yeah, I mean, you need to, right? Even on the side of GE, Benkai topping the board. Once again here on Ascent. He's been noted as, you know, one of the weaker pieces in firepower. Oh!
Another one onto net. Oh, can't get that reset on the Sheriff, unfortunately. And that's going to be a quick little 3 to get things started for GE.
Come on.
Well,
Come on.
Medusa, hoping that maybe he can get that contact with the Stinger.
And
them also spotted. The only one with the rifle. They actually do not challenge him.
Yeah, I think recognizing that, okay, if he's there, he's got the no command, let's just not deal with it. Let's go to the other side. Now, the question is where does Medusa decide to stick around?
Uses
the toxic screen. He's going to hide right outside of it. But now with a Stinger, it's tough, and he gets spotted. They know that he's out in main.
Yeah, that dark cover is going to just mess with him.
I mean, this is up to Anthem, right? Anthem has to open this up. He has to cause chaos, and Medusa has to find the timing around the noise.
Or flip it. Medusa becomes the noise, and then that allows Anthem to just sneak in, or maybe get a fight there onto A main. Or
So Medusa जो है वो fight करेगा.
Looks like it's just going to be a save for Anthem. Meanwhile, Medusa, see if he can force them to come his way. I mean, they'll have to exit one way or another. Ooh, the snake fight as well.
They're actually going to try to exit through A main. This could be good for Medusa, especially that they've been hit by the vulnerable. Good for the one, but that's still better than nothing. And Anthem picks up the at least lightning fast, escaping through spawn. So all things considered, DFM do some okay econ damage.
Yeah, you know, they'll do what they can for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, GE not wanting to go towards where the rifle is, I think, on that last moment. So a good call, even though, you know, they'll lose 1 life. Well, early on, I mean, the double pistols, they actually caught sight of Nathan right there. So they're ready for it. It just seemed like G was ready for a potential push out as well right after the timeout.
For sure, you know, just DFM trying to be proactive once again. And they've kind of shown that in the past couple of rounds too, right? Where we've seen May and Cess actually go for that aggressive A main contact to get the catch onto Lightning Fast, who is alone on site, or is alone in that position. So this time, it's actually a 3-2 split here from GE. Very aware, again, of how much contact it really is there, and it's just straight for trade. Benkai, once again, now sneaking his way onto the site.
But he's all alone.
He's going to try to plant it, maybe.
He's going to have to wait. Yeah, he can't even make that noise, because what if there's a flood in? They don't quite have the information on everybody. They only know that Neth was still on A site. So he's waiting for backup, but this could go very sour. If the backup all gets cut off, this is going to be danger zone for GE.
Yeah, you can see Russ at least trying to make sure it actually is tagging Anthem a pretty good bit. There's 50 seconds on the clock, so that means that Benkai can at least hold on up until the smoke dissipates, and here comes the rest of GE on the contact. But the thing is, it's an outnumbers game, especially on the front side, so they're gonna have to go for something off the contact, and that's the paranoia from Lightning Fast, opening it up for Russ, and now it's just pure chaos once again, and somehow GE are dissecting every single bit of this win condition bit by bit, and it's all down to them. He spots out Russ, good head, but it's not a fan, that's not gonna work out, and we are now match and series point for Global.
Very patient. I love that they use every piece of utility. I was looking at it. They still had the paranoia. It looked like they were kind of considering, do we stick with it or not? But at the end of the day, they'll clear out every single corner. The paranoia is to set up Russ for their early pick right here. You still
Nice
have the
read,
smoke
Rasbhai.
up. He
Nice
still
read.
swivels just in case it's a peek out.
Rasbhai का read बहुत
Continue
easy
to
है.
hold the double angle.
That was a very difficult kind of window for him to go over too, because numbers advantage, DFM had better positioning, they had to deal with the smoke,
ठीक है मत करो तुम पे time
GE somehow manages to pick
थोड़ा
up. Polvi gets tagged out to 34.
That could be rough for GE. I mean, you're at match point, but you're going to need that jet to create a bit of space on that entry.
Where is this going?
Looking to try to clear a potential tripwire, it looks like, over by mid. But we're not going to see one there. It's just all focused on market. Now, DFM, a bit of a heavy presence despite having the Cypher setups over by B. So suspecting that the toxic screen is going to be enough with the extra smokes coming out from Cess to force them over to that B side.
एक round come on.
Now the 0 point, catching nobody on B main, that's going to cause the rotates to come through, but it might be a bit late. The Understeer is coming out. Main gets spotted. He's trying to stay alive, and he'll get one kill, but he gets taken out as he tries to cross a 4v4. Benkai, he spots the back over from Medusa. Both of them just trying to tie each other up. But it's just a judge. Oh, they hear it. No reason to push that tree right now.
Yeah, just be safe. Hold on to the side if you can. Lightning Fast is full blinded. How is he not dead just yet? He might be right now, as there is like 3 players of DFM trying to pinch him. Spike planted on generator. Blaze King making a bit of noise as Benkai comes in for the swing. Will drop down onto net, so this should be a full defuse, especially now that it's been halved. And if Blaze King just goes through this, it's not going to be a happy ending for him.
Yeah, he'll try to stay alive, and he will keep his weapon, get 1 extra point for his troubles. But an excellent retake here. I love that Cess, even with the judge, he says, okay, well, I've been spotted, I only have a judge. Senses a paranoia in perfect timing. The rest of his teammates able to flood in from heaven.
Yeah.
Clear out hell, and that's all the time Cess needs to regroup with his teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. Get that regroup first. So, these next 2 rounds, GE should have enough money to full buy. It's all about DFM just creating that tempo. Not really waiting to break economy, but rather just breaking the mental right now of GE and, you know, again, having enough, just bank off of how well Net has been playing on his Cypher.
Yeah, and once again, because of that no command, it's a split between the Viper and the Cypher. They do this every time. GE has to know this. Everyone's been taking note of it. So you know that there might be extra utility waiting for you here. You're seeing the cyber cages come up. Still haven't cleared out all the triplets, but they're skirting around it. Meanwhile, May holds on to stairs. GE a bit trapped right now. They get spotted. He's getting spammed through the wall.
Spike down B.
Russ is on short too, though. He's coming around the bend as well. Lightning Fast is trapped on spawn. As you can see, Blaze King bringing it around onto that A short. So Russ has to hold this with 50 HP. He's being corralled right now by DFM, and there is no answer that they can really do here that is going to be advantageous for GE. It's Blaze King against the world. 30 seconds, 5 versus 1. He's trapped. He hears the camera. He hears everything around him. There is no safety for him right now. He's got to risk everything.
Yeah, I mean, he'll sneak in. He's got creds. The whole team's got creds. And DFM, they make the call at the 10-second mark. They say, okay, if he hasn't crept into B, he's definitely going to A. Trying to buy time. The 0 point out, so he cannot use his abilities. He's just trying to take away weapons, and they fall right into the trap.
He's making it expensive if he can. There it is. They've lost the round, but at least he's taken a few names under his belt as well. The third one maybe if he really wants to go for it. And that's just pure confidence here from Blaze King. Still, round goes to DFM's favor.
And we're 1 away from a potential overtime.
नहीं घुसने का भाई तुम्हारे पास
I
ये
mean,
है यार
you gotta imagine.
मैं भी ये नहीं समझ पा रहा एक ही रिकॉन के बूट आउट करनी है माइक है
that GE knew once again
लेन भी जाओ
that was
भाई
going to be
कोई
the split
लेने
setup. So purposely they sent Povey in all the way, and once he's made sure that there's no trips on that path, the rest of the team comes through, but they just do not account. They think that since there's no trip on the entrance, that they're safe. And eventually Benkai gets caught, and the cyber cage is still up before they can take control of the site. Now a 2-3 default. now the tripwire in mid. DFM hasn't been using it a lot. There's a showstopper from me as soon as they get contact on the cam. Right through the window. I love it.
He hasn't done that in any of these rounds, but when it matters, it's that nice little pick-off, as we can see on Lightning Fast. Now, this puts a big problem for them because they hard stack on B main. Now they're going to have to use a lot of times to encompass mid, on short.
आओ या नहीं है अच्छा नहीं इसके बाद अच्छा
Right? This is a good adjustment on their part as well. You get the early contact, and now you've taken control of A main. You can stay safe over by tree, Cess. Just gonna scout for information. Oh, as soon as that trip gets broken. There it is, the peek out. He finds two. He'll only get one kill. But do they know that the Jet's gone through heaven? Pole's gonna be big. He can open this all up. He gets one and he gets two. The patience pays off. Sight opened up by the duelist. Healing from EMEA.
That was huge. Also picks up the operator and still has the reset on the blades. So he's got some threats here, but look into the utility that's still available for May and Anthem. They've got the nades, they've got a couple of those blades, so it's going to be just pure contact. Kobe's just, again, dominating them. One left, it's Anthem. How could this have gone to this point? It was looking good for DFM. Spots out the one, goes around, knows he's pincer, has to get out of this one. He cannot get that first pick to get things started. He has to go to the spike and just start defusing.
Let's
fucking be a possibility. No overtime, 13-11, and this is Global Esports with the win.
When G needed it most, Polvi absolutely pulls him across the finish line.
Crazy.
He's had a lot of pressure on him this entire stage. What a clutch moment from the Jet of GE. The patience, the accuracy, and then the confidence as well throughout the entire game, quite frankly. And I gotta say, today, GE, all 5 members, they had their shining moments. They'll be able to take home the victory. Meanwhile, I mean, with how close they got,
teams, बहुत individuals
the pain on the side of DFM,
वो Lotus
but
वाला
their journey
round
for stage 1 ends with a single win against T1.
वो वाला round when they did 3v5 in the game, just 3v5.
A developing face for both of these teams. Esports, again, stellar finish in this series against DFM. You know what? This is a team that you have to be very aware of. They can go far into coming into split 2 and maybe even contention again for playoffs.
Yeah, they're still in contention, right? Obviously, it depends on the results of some of their other teams in Group Alpha, but they've done what they can here from GE. They've also proven that they're on an upward swing. They're continuing to rack on one more win on the board. See if they can continue in stage 1, but for now, we go to the end of the sets to break down the action.
Oh, that was a really interesting last few rounds. I thought, like, you know, we said in our MVP votes, right? We're like, wait, hold on. We could take that back, right? Because it was so close. It could have gone, you know, it could have easily gone DFM's way, especially that last round.
Especially that last round, until Polvi comes in from heaven, and that's just the thing about Global Esports right now, especially in this matchup. I mean, what a way to close out the day. What a way to close out this series, because DFM definitely put up some big numbers as well, but when it came down to it, Global Esports, I mean, you had Polvi putting up some great performances. Russ was doing incredible things as well, and you have to admire the calling throughout this entire map, because once they swapped over into that attacking side, so many of their executes were successful.
I was just really happy we got what I was asking for, which was DFM kind of bouncing back, GE in a good spot mentally, and what should be a close map, and we absolutely had a super close map. I mean, we just barely missed overtime. Last round was insane. A lot of the last bunch of rounds were very, very close. Easily, DFM could have taken more, GE could have taken more. Just going either way, like so many clutches to both sides. Just a really enjoyable third map to bring us some really great action. Yes. I mean, like, DFM, they really stuck through with it. Like, towards the end, they got so close. And a lot of, you know, jaws were agape at the end of that one, for sure.